Who's inhaling the mic?
Not me.
He's snorting that mic.
I'll tell you what I'm inhaling, though. I'm inhaling some Mr. Color leveling thinner.
That's a
accidentally spilled
safety
some
hazard right there.
I accidentally
like a
spilled some
sighting
in my
on that.
closet.
Let the man have some fun.
No. Well, you are listening to the Micro Machines podcast. The only podcast where the only podcast where the guys do actual chemicals on the live stream.
I think it's the only one.
And today our episode is the Cruiser Mark 4?
5?
Calum, am I reading my
6.
6. Fuck.
Dang it. That Crusader. Alright, but first I think we should do some introductions, shall we?
Well, why don't we get our guest to introduce themselves onto our podcast? Because we have our first collab episode with the Totally Tanked podcast.
G'day everyone, it's lovely to be here. My name's John and I'm one of the hosts of the Totally Tanked podcast. Fantastic to be here. And one of the tanks we haven't done, we've done 34 episodes now, but the Crusader's still on the list.
That's because I intentionally went through it and got one that you haven't done yet.
Ooh, research.
We like to play here at the Micro Machines podcast.
Yeah, we're real players.
Oh, we are. Just ask Ezra. He knows.
So you've also got me,
yes.
Callum, from New Zealand, the neighbour of John.
I'm Dennis. I'm recording from Ontario in Canada.
I am Jack. I am also in Ontario, in Canada.
I'm Ezra, recording from rainy New Mexico, drinking chamomile tea and huffing leveling thinner.
Sweet.
And I am Greg, recording from SoCal, drinking some good old coffee, enjoying that SoCal weather.
And leveling thinner.
Oh, yes.
Well then, Callum, this is sort of like your show, eh?
I think it is. So let's
Hold
kick
on.
this off.
Yeah.
So today we are going to learn about the Cruiser Mark 6, also known as the Crusader. Now, I call this one the Knight of North Africa, just as the Matilda II was considered the Queen of North Africa. I call the Crusader Knight because Crusader, Knight, and also the Crusader was only ever used in the North African conflict.
It was certainly a ballsy move to take a tank called Crusader to the Arab world, wasn't it?
I wonder if they did that on purpose.
The British come up with like the whole
That's-
sea rule just so they can name all their tanks Crusader,
That's a-
predicting a conflict in North Africa in the future.
Yeah, that's the most British thing I've ever heard of.
Damn
Nope.
English.
You know what they should have done? They should have given the Crusaders to during the Palestine conflict just to fuck with them.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, they should.
ladies and gentlemen, this is the first episode where we really got canceled. All the algorithm's going to come for us for that one. Thanks, Callum.
Because this is about how far anybody listens to our podcast and then clicks off.
Oh, we got to insult someone.
Mm.
So,
Gotta put bonus content at the end.
So, how did the Crusader start? Well, here's a question for you all. On the left, you have a Covenanter. On the right, you have a Crusader. Which one came first?
Covenanter, right?
Is
Sherman.
this like a Birds and the Bees story about tanks?
Just which came first?
The Covenanter and the Crusader love each other very much.
The Covenator. Yeah, the Covenator.
Because
Covenanter.
the
It's
Covenanter,
a Mark
guys.
III. I'm
This
from the
is the
south,
radiator.
goddammit.
In the
That's a
wrong place.
Covenator.
The cover.
What if I
the cover.
what if I told you were all wrong?
Oh,
The
Born
Crusader,
at the same time.
the prototype came out 6 weeks before the Covenanter. Now,
Yeah, I mean,
the
that just goes to how bad the Covenanter was.
Yeah, the Crusader actually started 3 weeks late and turned out 6 weeks earlier than the Covenanter.
Get fucked, Covenator.
That one weird kid.
Now, the reason for this, in 1938, Nuffield Mechanizations and Aero Limited produced the A16, which is a heavy cruiser tank based on the Christie suspension. Looking for lighter and cheaper tank, the General Staff requested alternatives from British industry. To this end, the A13 Mark III, I hate the British naming system. It gets confusing as fuck. The
You hate all
A13,
naming systems.
I really do. Especially the
At least
American
not
one.
everything's named M1 or
I don't blame
M4.
you.
Well, the Americans just named every tank M3, didn't they? So that made things really
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah, it's like, when you talk M3, is it the half track? Is it the scout car? Is it the medium tank? Is it...
Jack, how's that M3 working for you?
We're simple-minded over here.
But the A13 Mark III cruiser tank, which would enter service as the Tank Cruiser Mark V, also known as the Covenator, was designed by LMS. Nuffield was, in 1939, offered the opportunity to take part in the production of the Covenator. Nuffield, however, preferred to work on its own version of the A13, though it has still provided design work for the Covenator's turret. This new tank was adopted as Tank Cruiser Mark VI Crusader under General Staff Specification A15. Although Crusader is often referred to as an improved version of the Covenator, it is in fact a parallel design. Both tanks were ordered off the drawing board without building prototypes first. Despite a later start, the pilot model of the Crusader was ready 6 weeks before the Covenator. There you go.
I am enthralled.
Good shit.
Damn.
Doesn't that Covenant, or I don't know how to pronounce it, on the left have
Covenator.
a-
Cupboard.
That's
Cupboard-
definitely a
the
Covenanter.
Covenator? Doesn't it have a Matilda turret? Or like the...
No, the angled turret's
No.
quite distinctive on these two.
Okay, no, I mean the mantlet, sorry, not turret.
Yeah, definitely more like a Matilda on the mantlet, I'll give you that.
I feel like some of them, because we did this on one of our earlier episodes, some of them had a Matilda style mantlet, and some of them just didn't. Some of them were just flat like the Crusader, so I wonder what happened there.
I would say in this picture it looks like the Crusader's got the 6-pounder gun on, whereas the Covenanter's got the 2-pounder that's it's shared with the Matilda.
The Covenanter couldn't fit a heavier gun. If,
No, it's the same
like,
turret.
it couldn't. It was at like its max weight. It was
Oh,
a nightmare.
It
yeah, I mean, they
already
never used it
slammed as
in
was.
service, so it really wasn't much point putting a new gun in it, was there?
Yeah,
No, the
exactly.
Covenator was only ever used for training purposes.
And even then,
Exactly.
only because they had all them left over, having pre-ordered the worst tank in history.
Yeah.
Didn't they make like 2,000 of them?
Yeah, before they stopped.
What a bunch of goobers.
It's like the Ajax program, but in 1938.
Very similar with the noise issues.
Tank vibrates its crew into a jelly.
No,
brought
this
this
time
up
it
in
bakes
episode
them with
3,
the
but they
rad
should
at
have
the front.
sent all
Oh,
of the
right, never mind.
Covenanters. They should have sent all of the Covenanters to like the Eastern Front, so the crews would at least stay warm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
exactly.
y'all did
You're
something about
onto
that.
something with that.
Mm.
Oh, well. Shall we go to the next slide?
No.
Send it.
So, first we'll talk about the Mark I. So, this is the very first of the Crusader. So, you see the specifications here. It's powered by a Nuffield Liberty L12 V12 Mark II engine with 340 horsepower. It has Christie helical spring suspension. It is armed with one 40mm quick-firing 2-pounder, one 7.92 Baser. That is not in the mantlet, but in the hull turret.
Hell yeah.
The grower, not a
Yeah.
shower.
Engage 2 targets at once. There you are.
It's going back to that really bad idea of let's put more turrets on the tank, though, isn't it?
It's very early. There was a very early war thing of having an extra machine gun turret, like as we covered in the Ram 2, or you see on the Lee. They just liked having machine gun turrets on things.
Well, they liked designing it. They got rid of them as fast as they could once they saw service, though.
Gotta respect the hustle.
Yeah,
Cal, may I ask a quick question before you continue?
go for it.
You see on the Beza turret,
Yep.
the little cylinder poking out to the right of the Beza, is that a scope?
Yes, I think it is.
Damn.
Hell
damn.
yeah.
That's-
They're going to be doing indirect firing with the Beza.
Funny enough, do you know what the Baser machine gun is actually based off?
Isn't it Brno in Czech Republic?
I was going to say, it's a Czech gun, isn't it?
Yeah. It's I think like the designation was like VZ 58 or something like that.
Yeah, it's something like the VZ38 or 58.
Yeah,
That's why it fires 7.92.
Yeah, which is a really weird round. So the Mark 1 had armor max of 40 mil on the front, crew of 4, and you can see the rest off-road speed of 24 kilometers an hour, on-road 42 with a range of 235 off-road and 322 on-road.
Can we talk about the engine now?
Go for it.
So it's one thing to note, it looks really good with 340 horsepower for an early war British tank. That's excellent. But the engine's actually a World War I design, and amongst other things, it lacks an engine block, and it just had cylinders bolted together, which all the bolts came undone under any sort of operation. And it needed a full oil change after 600 kilometers, so that's 2 days.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking hell yeah.
Perfect.
I love running maintenance on my tank.
So are you saying this engine would literally just shake itself apart?
Yeah.
The Crusader, it was a works program for British mechanics. It was a make work program.
Slower.
But you can imagine in World War I tank design, you put the tank up at the starting line and then it runs for 100 kilometers in the big assault, and that's all it does in a year. So this sort of engine made sense in 1917, but it really wasn't fit for World War II.
Welcome to the new world.
The future is now, old man.
Pretty much.
So, the Mark I was quickly put in production after the prototype was tested in mid-1940. None was ready for the campaign of France, however they were quickly shipped to Egypt and took part in the first phase of the war against the invading Italian forces. The Mark I of early production had what's called a semi-internal cast hull mantlet, which was replaced on the later models by a bigger cast mantlet with 3 vertical slits for the gun, machine gun, and periscope.
The bigger the better.
Of course.
I see what you
The large slope turret, also designed for maximum internal space, had no cupola, but a flat hatch with the periscope mounted inside. In practice, it was most often open most of the time. I completely flubbed that line, but who cares?
Fuck it.
The gun was balanced through a paddle shaft, making pointing easier and more accurate and allowing efficient fire on the move. It was actually one thing the Crusader was quite well known for, was actually shooting on the move. It was they ended up employing it in that way of flanking and firing on the move because it was actually the design allowed for it. It was very good.
I don't think I've ever seen a video of that thing firing like standing still. I think I've always seen it like going over like a fucking mound or something, opening up.
Yeah.
I still reckon if you're relying on your gunner being able to move the cannon around with his shoulder, you've got a way too small cannon in your tank.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But
and we don't judge size on this podcast.
Greg, the grenade launcher is the same caliber as this anti-tank gun. How does that feel?
That's kind of sad, actually. 40 Mike, oh my god.
Now, the 40 millimeters of armor was designed to deal with most tanks of the time in 1939, armed with 37mm guns. The frontal glacis was sloped like the turret, but the rear and sides were flat and more vulnerable. Early production models were given provisional armoured side panels, usually protecting the rear part of the tank, i.e. the engine and fuel tanks. The first unit to fight with these brand new Crusader Mark Is was the 6th Royal Tank Regiment, part of the 7th Armoured Brigade. They fought alongside Matilda infantry tanks using their speed for screening tactics. No Italian tank was a threat, well, because they're reversing all the time. But this would change with the arrival of Rommel and his Panzer IIIs.
You mean? I don't mind.
Wait, hold on. So this thing had sloping armor?
In the front, yes.
But that's impossible because we all know that the T-34 was the first tank to be
Wait till you get a lot of Valentine.
Next slide. So, here we have the Mark II. The only real difference between a Mark I and a Mark II is slightly more armor. I have seen some of them, they did retain the machine gun turret, but basically even on the Mark Is, in the field, they got rid of the turret because it wasn't needed. So instead, there was a machine gun in the mantlet. So they did have a coax.
Nice.
Boo.
So you'll see basically everything is the same, except you'll see the armor is now got 49 millimeters in the front. So it's a little bit heavier by not much. But so late production. Oops, I just lost my notes for a second. Late production Mark 1s were given large side protective panels attached to the upper hull, providing better protection against the 50mm gun on the Panzer III and the Pak 40 AT gun. These panels became permanently attached from the factory starting from the Mark II. This new version also received a large increase in armor from 40 to 49mm. Not very large, but, on the front glacis and the turret.
It's a limited
Won't
edition.
that Pack 40 still tear through it pretty easy?
Probably.
Well, what if it's at range?
Yeah, not sure about that. I mean,
North Africa, well known for never having tanking on anti-tank engagements at range.
These things were paper thin. It was tragic just how badly they were outclassed by the Panzer IIIs.
Yeah, so the Mark II was designed to it just says provided better protection against the 50mm. Doesn't necessarily say stopped it. It just says better against it.
Question for the experts here.
Go for it.
Okay, so you see on the road wheels how on the actual rubber tires there were all those holes drilled in them?
Yep.
What was the idea with that?
Not sure.
Was it weight savings, perhaps?
No idea. I haven't seen any info referencing those.
Jack, you know what this means, right?
I don't think Jack does.
Cricket.
he don't.
Does
he
that
don't,
mean
he
it
doesn't
can
appreciate
drive?
it's the Crusader with the weight savings. So
Well, that's
it's the
good.
Crusader Super Ligara.
Oh,
Does that mean
God.
it's fuel efficient?
Yeah, it's fuel efficient. There you go.
It's a hybrid. It's basically a hybrid now.
It's basically, and that 40mm is basically a tow missile.
Oh, the Crusader is essentially a Prius. Or excuse me, a Prius, as Dennis likes to call them.
Speak English.
He
correct,
switches
bud.
between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the added weight was coped with a more powerful Nuffield Liberty Mark III engine. To save weight in a crew member, the awkward turret was often removed, so the only machine gun that remained was the coax. The large 3-slit cast mantlet was also serial now, so it was standard as opposed to the Mark I where it wasn't. This evolution arrived in 1942, just in time for some major battles of the Campaign of Africa. Some were converted on the stocks as infantry support tanks, or CS, close support, equipped with a 3-inch howitzer launching smoke grenades. Now, if the Mark I and II turned to be effective in Libya against the Italians, it was another affair against Rommel, aka the Desert Fox. While its speed, light protection, and armament could deal with most Panzer Is and IIs, the Panzer III, equipped with the long barrel 50mm, and the Panzer IVs and the short 75 were more than a match. Plus, German tactics using a faint retreat under the cover of well-placed AT guns, including the 88, proved deadly effective. The Crusaders in Gazala and around Tobruk, forming the biggest part of the British Armed Forces in Africa, had few options but to retreat and try to outrun the well-concealed German gunners. There were also severe limitations on the tank itself, starting with poor handling in African ports, repairs, premature use of their train and tracks because of the lack of transportation infrastructure, then the conception problems in the field. For example, the lower part of its angle turret acted like a lever at each shell impact, dislodging the turret from its mounting, or a hull vulnerable above the ammunition rack, where if red-hot metal fragments penetrated, they triggered a fire. There were also issues with engine. There were also issues with the engine overheating, oil leaking, and problems with the cooling filter systems, mostly caused by sand erosion.
And with the filter, worth noting, they put the filter intake at the rear far side of the tank, so it was literally where all the dust off the tracks was straight into the filter.
That's fucking smart.
Yeah, it was the worst place they could have put it.
So basically, the Crusader would have been a decent tank if it wasn't in North Africa.
If it wasn't for the turret and the engine and the armor and the tracks and
And
the
the gun.
suspension. and the visibility and the survivability.
Or the fact that, that angled turret, if a shot got into it, it dislodged the turret.
The other funny thing with the
That's
angled
very
turret
though.
is they limited the turret rings because they were worried about making all their tanks fit on the railways, which is a sensible constraint. But then the turret designers said, haha, we can overcome the limitations of the turret ring by angling it outwards, at the same time blowing away the reason why the turret ring was limited in the first place. So
Perfect.
A bunch of silly geese, those English.
So, shall we go to the next slide? To the penultimate, Mark III. So, the Mark III was even heavier, more heavily armoured and armed. With the increase of, instead of a 2-pounder or 40mm, it was upgraded to a 6-pounder or 57mm QF gun, as well as 51mm of armour on the front as opposed to 40 or 49. And the only other difference was the engine, which was the Mark IV Nuffield Liberty L12 V12.
Yeah.
So, prior to the... Oops. I keep bloody losing my notes. God, I'm not having a good day.
See, that's why you just straight up don't have notes in the first place.
Wing it.
just wild ass guesses.
Make it all up.
Oh, Dennis, this is going on the internet. You know someone will be itching to sit there and go, well, actually... I'm honestly surprised we haven't had one yet.
Yeah, actually, we
Yeah.
haven't had one of those yet. That's weird.
I think because we try and keep all our subjects so obscure, no one can tell us otherwise because they don't know about it. That's how true.
Yeah.
Or nobody listens to our podcast.
Hey,
Do
we
you
don't
guys-
mention that, goddammit.
Do you guys consider yourselves to be rivet counters?
All right, let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
It
9,
depends.
10,
Yeah.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
That's a
I count at least
slanderous
15
term.
turrets.
I
Yeah,
will
15
be
turrets.
a
It's an
counter
A15.
on specific subjects.
Fair enough.
Okay, so...
Like, yeah,
Prior to the climactic battle of El Alamein, most Crusaders had been retired from regular frontline units, replaced by much more effective L3 Grants and Lees. The move was even accelerated when the first M4 Shermans arrived en masse. The Crusaders were relegated with M3 Stuarts to screening and scouting forces to exploit breakthroughs or relegated to secondary sectors. However, when the need for a new heavy cruiser tank, expressed since 1940, appeared compromised, a stopgap measure was taken in March 1941. There were trials to adapt the very effective 6-pounder AT gun onto a tank turret, and finally the Crusader was chosen. This was the first time this already well-proven gun was mounted onto a tank. This led to a complete redesign of the interior, with new increased in frontal armour, no more auxiliary turret, better protection for the turret mounting and around the ammunition racks, and some improvements to the ventilation system. The crowded turret, equipped with exhaust vents for the gun fumes, also dictated a drastic reduction in the crew. Now 3, the commander was also the loader. The Mark III was now
It
propelled by
gets
the...
better because when the commander's loading the gun, he actually has to sit facing backwards, which is not an ideal position for a
You're
commander.
kidding. That can't possibly be true. There's no way they would do something that ridiculous.
England, you're supposed to improve, not fall back.
It's like, we're going back
Go
now.
home.
This was not Britain's best tank.
This was their midlife crisis.
Oh my god.
This is why the M3 was considered. The M3, also an appallingly bad tank, was actually considered a huge improvement because this is what it was compared against.
Don't talk shit about the M3.
Yeah.
Not in my
It's an
presence.
amazing tank.
Imagine thinking that your tank, actually knowing your tank is better than the M3. That's sad.
Hey, Jack, just FYI, he was talking about the other M3, not the M3 you're thinking about.
Sorry, I was talking about the medium. Yeah.
Not the M3 grease gun.
So, the Mark
famously
III...
the most racist tank.
What?
Now, the Mark III was now propelled by the Liberty Mark IV, the latest evolution of the Nuffield V12. The new gun, with 50 rounds, was provided with some AP rounds and had a far better punch against existing Axis tanks, notably the Panzer III and IV. The Mark III replaced all existing versions and was largely produced from early 1942 to mid-1943. But by then, the Crusader was seen increasingly as obsolete. I'm pretty sure it was obsolete at the Mark I, but okay. Being already replaced by some more notable, more capable Cavalier, Centaur, and Cromwell tanks. The new long-awaited generation of cruisers. Despite this, they played their part in the Second Battle of El Alamein. Their great speed could still be exploited in some occasions. Many were equipped with anti-mine roller attachment kit to deal with the huge German minefields during the first hours of the offensive. Crusaders, almost only Mark IIIs, were still seen in action in Tunisia by 1943, in Sicily and Italy. But by mid-1944, many were converted on the stocks or remained in home defence units, and were used in tactical drilling until 1945. The Mark III remains the biggest production of the entire Cruiser 6 series.
Go off.
So
At
basically,
least it looked cool.
It's important to remember just how desperate the British were for tanks in 1940 after the debacle in France.
That this is true.
yeah, they literally had none.
It's a question about the tracks.
Yep.
Because now we actually have people who know what they're talking about on the podcast.
Damn, Dennis.
Hey, I'm burning myself here too.
Hey, I guess we'll go fuck ourselves.
Yeah, we can all go just die now. The tracks, so like because they look fairly narrow. How often was it that these narrow tracks would either help the tank get stuck in the sand or basically like just fly off? Because they don't look very strong.
I think everyone figured out by the end of the war that wide tracks were better, but at the start of the war, they were concerned about the weight that heavier tracks brought with them. But I agree, looking at this picture, these tanks are too narrow for desert work.
Yeah, that thing would just sink.
Perfect. Let's send it to North Africa.
If it's the only tank you've got, that's the one you send.
I will say the only good thing about early British tanks is A, even though they sucked, they look cool, and B, those desert camos look awesome.
That is
Perfect
true.
for modeling.
Yeah.
Look at those rivets.
Oh yeah, look at that streaking.
Well, the rivets will bring up your dry brush nicely, won't they?
Oh, yeah.
It's worth noting with British tanks as well that Matilda was an excellent design that stayed in service to the end of the war in the Pacific because it was reliable and well made. And also Valentine was unbelievably reliable, mostly because it had Detroit diesel engines in them. So the Crusaders, the whole Cruiser series, just didn't have the engine to do what they wanted.
Yeah. Although, I mean, in the Pacific, I'd love to see a Japanese 37mm gun try and go through the front of a Matilda too. Like when the Germans could have.
That's why they used it. But, with Matilda in Australian service in the Pacific, we bought 1,000 M3 mediums and then realised that we would use the Matilda instead for overseas work. So we just didn't use the 1,000 tanks we bought. And we were even shorter on tanks than anyone else. So that's a real testament. The M3 medium was that bad, and Crusader was worse still.
Shall we go to the next slide, please, Dennis? So let's talk about the performance or lack of. So initially performed better than Stuart light tanks, used as primary unit for cruiser tank regiments. Stuarts were used for reconnaissance. However, suffered from chronic reliability problems, including, and not limited to, missing tools, often lost or stolen during transit.
Yoink.
Lack of spare parts.
Almost just like
It got Detroited.
Creative tracks.
So there was a lack of spare parts. During the war, they got anyone to work in factories, so inexperienced workers building them caused quality issues within the tanks themselves. and design flaws such as overheating due to bad cooling systems. Because when you think about it, the Crusader was designed in England, whose climate is very, very, very different to North Africa. You know, what might not overheat over in England will fry in the desert, you know. I think that's one thing not a lot of people consider is, like, you know, a tank designed in a cold climate probably won't do that well in a hot climate.
Oh heavens, no!
Yeah, the British had this problem as well with their warships lacking air conditioning in the Pacific, that where it's pretty much required. And it's worth noting that Valentine was extremely reliable, and so the problems, I think, had more to do with the people, the owners of the factories who were making them, than the actual workforce. Certainly, Valentine was being bodged together by bicycle workshops and railway yards.
Oh God, I will say though, even sometimes though, even tanks designed in their climates didn't work well. Originally, the T-34 had no heating at all. And the designer of T-34, to prove how reliable the tank was, he drove from, I think, like Stalingrad to Moscow or something.
It was 1,000 kilometers, yeah.
Yeah. He drove 1,000 kilometers in winter with no heating, and he died of pneumonia.
Idiot.
Like, a month later.
Talk about an ego. Jesus. My tank's good, I swear.
No heating?
So
it's underappreciated just how important the American M4s were with their electrically heated crew suits. It was a huge innovation over any other tank in the world.
Well, especially considering that radial engine sucked all the cold air in.
Yeah, well, you needed, I guess.
It's a bit drafty.
So, despite problems, the Crusader was very successful against German and Italian tanks, using their greater mobility and capability fire on the move to hit weak spots. So, basically, if it couldn't hit it from the front, it just went around it. The Crusader actually caused a change in German tactics, which meant their tanks withdrew to a line of AT guns. So, the Crusaders, especially the Mark 1s and 2s, with the 2-pounder, didn't have any high explosive rounds. So they couldn't deal with entrenched AT guns. You know, basically the 2-pounder only really had the solid shot, which is just basically a giant bullet. So against static positions, solid shot just doesn't work at all.
Get fucked.
So the 57 mil, the 6-pounder, did have high explosive rounds, but they still weren't that good. So,
well, because those were high velocity, right? Which meant that the casing of the shell had to be a lot thicker, which basically limited the amount of high explosive, like actual, like, you know, the HE filler they could use, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it wasn't until the 75 mils came along that they really were able to sort that out.
Yeah. Funny enough, like for the 2-pounder, the British did design a AP-HE round for it, and I think the explosive mass in it was something like 10 grams, maybe, of explosive.
I was thinking 20 grams, but yeah, it was minuscule.
It was tiny. And it was also this explosive that was, a lot of the times it just didn't go off, or it was too... It just wasn't suitable for being fired in rounds.
Yeah, I don't think they ever actually deployed the high explosive round. It's one of those mystery ones that everyone knows it was built, but you can't find a trace of it being used.
Sweep this one under the rug, guys.
Pretty much. So we'll go to the next slide, please. So, a quick summary of North Africa, because the Crusader Mark 1 to 3 was only used in North Africa. So the notable battles that it participated in was Operation Battle Axe, Operation Crusader, the Battle of the Marath Line, and the Battle of Wadi Akarit.
Yeah, I think you got it.
Close enough.
Damn.
And the units that they operated with was the 7th Armoured Brigade as the 6th Royal Tank Regiment, the 22nd Armoured Brigade, the Australian 9th Infantry Division as Recon and Liaison, and the 26th Armoured Brigade as part of the 78th Infantry Division. Now, as well as the Mark 1 to Mark 3, there were some variants. So here's a quick list, but we'll go through them each one at a time. But we have the Crusader 3 AA Mark 1, the AA Mark 2 and 3, the Gun Tractor Mark 1, the ARV Mark 1. Some of them were turned into SPGs, and as I mentioned before, the anti-mine rolling kit. So if we go to the next. So this is the Crusader Mark 3 AA Mark 1.
Only
What
used in
gods
North
were on Earth?
Africa, you say?
I said only the
The
Mark
War
1 to
Thunder
Mark
thing.
only the Mark 1 to Mark 3s were used in North Africa. Variants were used up until Normandy.
Yeah, Dennis, open your fucking ears.
Yeah, it does.
I gotta
So-
say, as a self-propelled anti-aircraft piece, it doesn't look so bad.
I
It
wanna
looks
build
pretty
it.
cool.
Yeah, I want to. I need that
Oh,
model.
we'll get to that, Jack. Don't
You
worry.
and me both, Jack.
So, over 1,373 Crusaders were converted for special purposes, of which around 400 were Crusader AA Mark 1s. It was armed with a Bofors 40mm, bringing its highly recognizable pom-pom sound on the battlefield, which gave it its popular surname among soldiers and the Royal Navy sailors as well. This was the first conversion of existing Mark III hulls. At first, the gun was just mounted to an open platform with its regular front flat shield, but it soon became obvious that better protection was needed, and a four-sided opened top shield was wrapped around it for the next batch. So this is just chucking a 40mm anti-aircraft gun onto a Crusader.
Yeah, it's worth noting that we were just talking about the impossibility of doing high explosive in 40mm, and here's a 40mm gun with a high explosive round.
Hey, we're gonna go ahead and look over that and just
Yeah, don't
continue
worry
on,
about
okay?
Surprisingly, the Bofors gun, well known for only firing anti-tank ammunition against aircraft.
Imagine you're just a Panzer IV commander and this thing just starts chugging away at you.
Oh, you would not have a good day.
Pure hatred.
That's War Thunder in a nutshell.
Yes.
Pretty much.
So I reckon if you have to go to war, something like this is ideal. You're just sitting at Divisional HQ all day. You don't have to walk anywhere.
Drinking tea.
Read a magazine.
Dude, facts.
Reading Fine Scale Modeler, 1944 edition.
So,
That's
if we go to the next one.
Stuff, then.
So, this is the Crusader Mark III AA Mark 2 and 3.
Oh, it's cute.
So, a Crusader AA Mark III with its distinctive twin 20mm Orlecan mount. It had a devastating combination of speed and firepower, especially deadly for low-flying aircraft. They were coupled with a targeting 303 Vickers machine gun. These guns were balanced with a large metal cylinder mounted on a threaded rod for adjustment. They could fire almost vertically. Mark II and 3s only differed by the radio position moved from the turret into the hull for added free space. They were put in use in the later stages of the African campaign in Tunisia and fought in Sicily, Italy, and Normandy. There, Allied air dominance was such that they were relegated to secondary duties. Production records are scarce, but in June 1944, 268 of these Mark II and 3s were enlisted for D-Day. Firing tests began in June 1943 and conversion started in October. Normal provision was 600 rounds. A variation with triple Orlecans was produced in very limited quantities, but have seemed to only been used for training. Now, these were also used by the 1st Polish Armoured Division, and they didn't use them against aircraft. They used them against ground targets, aka infantry.
HE is HE, goddammit.
It's a skink
AKA a
model.
war
Crimes.
crime.
Jack, this thing is half a skink. It's got only 2 Orlecans. We need to get another 2
Yeah,
on there.
The skink did it better.
Yeah, come on.
Guys, we need to do an episode on the skink.
Oh,
We will.
do.
We will.
Oh, yeah.
You got to say
Yeah.
it's you know that you're getting the hand-me-downs if you're the Poles, and this turns up in headquarters, don't you?
Pulls right before attacking an infantry target. Pulls up the anti-aircraft tank.
Well, there's a simple fix to that.
Well, I think the
Sounds like
Polish.
North Korea.
Well, I think the Polish used them against the German infantry after what the Germans did to them in Market Garden.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Hey, we weren't complaining about it.
So if we go to the next one. So,
Aw.
Crusader was also turned into a gun tractor.
What the fuck? It's a box on wheels.
Basically.
Little Willy.
Looks a lot like a universal carrier, doesn't it?
That's the Wish universal carrier.
You just like start it up and it says the Bluetooth has connected.
Oh God.
So the Crusader gun tractor came out of a need for a vehicle that could tow the heavy 70 to 76.2 millimeter QF 17 pounder anti-tank gun. It was a Crusader tank hull with a simple boxy superstructure replacing that of the tank gun. The 14 millimeter thick structure protected the driver and its gun crew of 6. The tractor also carried ammunition at the rear and within the crew area. Although nearly as heavy as the gun tank, it was capable of high speed and was officially limited to 27 miles an hour or 43 kilometers per hour. This was still hard on the towed 17-pounder guns. They were used in northwest Europe from the Normandy landings of 1944 to the end of the war in 1945. One such unit was the 86th Anti-Tank Gun Regiment, Royal Artillery, part of 12 Corps. Is it 12? XII Corps. Yeah, that's 12.
12 core.
In the 86th,
Welcome
86th,
to the Micro Machines podcast, where we do not know Roman numerals.
Yeah.
You could do a regular segment where you just throw a random numeral on and see who can guess it.
Yo, that's actually a good idea.
In the 86th, the Crusader gun tractor replaced earlier Morris C8 gun tractors in 2 out of the 4 batteries. Unit veterans reported the Crusader was popular with the crews and was often driven by former Armoured Corps drivers seconded to the Royal Artillery because of their driving experience. 86th veterans claimed that they removed the governors that normally limited tank speeds. Thus, adapted, they credited an empty Crusader with speeds up to 55 miles an hour or 89 kilometers an hour.
Yeah.
And claims to be able to outrun military police motorcycles, which were
Oh my God.
which were limited to a wartime speed of just 50 miles an hour due to low-grade petrol.
Need for speed.
Imagine that you roll up to
Now
the
it's
local
Normandy.
hub with your fucking Crusader 2 fucking tractor thingy, and the MPs come after you, and you're like, "Catch it, fucking faggot!" You take off in that thing.
It's Initial D, but with tanks.
See this thing drifting around a corner?
Instead of tofu delivery, it's 17-pounder delivery.
Can you imagine being the military police on your bike and then just seeing that thing taking off on you?
I'd give up. Actually, I probably wouldn't, because military police are fucking assholes.
Nah, they wouldn't give us
Down,
up.
down.
I mean, let's remember with the reliability of the Crusader, you might be broken down around the next corner.
Or overheated.
Same with their motorcycles, though.
True.
I mean,
You just drift around a corner and your track snaps off.
I was about to say.
it's girls in Panzer.
Oh God.
Oh.
So some
Oh
vehicles.
yeah, isn't there a scene in Girls in Panzer where they're driving like a BT-7 without its tracks?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
You
because
would know,
BT-7s
wouldn't
could
you?
Do that.
I would know because I
It
watched
was the
abridged
BT-42,
version.
was it not?
I thought
guys
some of the
are-
Christie models could drive without the tracks.
I was going to say, yeah, you could
yeah,
do that.
exactly.
And those things could
Nice
actually
one,
take
Ezra, you
off.
didn't know that?
I've seen.
Maybe early T-34s do that too.
You sure about that one, bud?
Early T-34s, I think.
So a few of the interwar designs could. I didn't think the T-34, but I could be wrong.
Someone fact check this guy. I don't want the
Maybe
word
when they
right.
like
Yeah, I'm
borrowed
looking this
stuff
up.
from the BT-7, threw it onto the early T-34. Yeah. Maybe that's what the holes in the road wheels are for.
So it's
So,
like slotted brake discs.
Yeah.
So while that
Oh
gets
no,
searched
just
up.
the BT. Wait.
So while that gets searched up,
Okay,
Dennis, can we go to the next slide?
Absolutely not.
So they also
This
made.
says that the
Go
Never
for it,
mind.
Ezra.
Oh.
Say
It
it.
says that the T-34 had an 8x6 wheel control drive similar to on the BT tanks, which allowed it to run on wheels without Caterpillar tracks.
Hey,
There we go.
nice.
Interesting.
So the Crusader, the ARV or armored recovery vehicle. So they made an ARV out of a Crusader, and if you zoom in, it kind of looks like it's got a dual Bren gun mounting
That's
in
a
the middle.
dual Bren right there. Yep.
Damn. Nice.
Basically an anti-aircraft gun tank.
Catch it, Fritz.
And then the last, so next up,
Whoa.
Crusaders were also turned into self-propelled guns.
What happened to that
That is
M40?
sick.
Is that a long Tom?
So, the top one is a post-war modification, probably for testing purposes only, with a 5.5 inch or 140 millimeter medium gun. How's that medium? It's 140 mil.
That's huge.
So, medium gun was
Massive. Even.
installed at the front, facing backwards. So, very Archer vibes.
Boo.
Good.
And then at the bottom, as an Argentine Crusader. So some Crusader gun tractors sold after the war to Argentina were converted to self-propelled guns with French 75 or 105 millimeter guns installed in large boxy superstructures.
You just get the feeling the Argentines bought that on paper and had no idea what they were getting into, don't you?
They probably just saw the
sounds
Crusader bit, and then this gun tractor turned up, and they're going, what the fuck? It's like, where's the gun?
This ain't a gun tank.
I mean, it looks kind of cool.
No.
It's
I don't know.
ugly.
It's like a discount bison.
Yeah, it's the British
What's
Bison.
wrong with the bison? Nothing's wrong with the bison.
All
Bison's
right.
good.
Settle down there. Settle down.
Hey, I
I wasn't
played World of
praising the
Tanks. I know how
Bison.
bad the Bison is.
Threes.
And then we'll go to the last variant, which I've mentioned before. No photos of it exist, unfortunately. And that is the Crusader AMRA Mark 1D, the anti-mine roller attachment. So a mine clearing device consisting of 4 heavy rollers suspended from a frame. Weight of the rollers could be increased by filling them with water, sand, whatever. A little note as well, Crusaders were also used for experimentation, such as a flotation kit consisting of 2 pontoons attached to the hull sides, special blades attached to the tracks to propel the vehicle in water, and a cowl over engine air takes and cooling louvers. So, at one point, the
blades
Crusader
attached to
swum.
the tracks.
That is some
That sounds
Mythbuster
really cool.
stuff.
Nice.
I just love the idea of a tank famous for its overheating, putting cowls over the cooling. But yeah, I wouldn't want to go too far to sea with that.
Don't even worry. It's in the water. It's fine.
Was that Andrew Cuomo accent?
Sure.
And if we go
You
to
want
the last slide, just a couple random facts I found. So, as I mentioned before in the A39 Tortoise, one Crusader was used for testing the 600 horsepower Rolls-Royce Meteor engine. The increased horsepower...
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
this thing could move.
Oh.
The
In
increased...
fact, where have we seen a Rolls-Royce Meteor today?
Okay. We're gonna have to talk about that later.
Yeah.
We should. Okay.
So the increased horsepower over the standard Liberty engine gave it a maximum speed in excess of 40 miles an hour or 64 kilometers an hour. Now, I think if you had the Rolls-Royce Meteor and the Crusaders whilst they were in the desert, then it would have been a better tank instead of the Nuffield.
I think you would have put more armor on it if you had more power, though, and you just would have had a different tank.
That's true. You basically would have had the Cromwell.
Yeah, you'd build a Cromwell if you could.
So, the turret of a Crusader tank was used by the French Far East Expeditionary Corps to defend the city of Hanoi at the beginning of the First Indochina War as well. So they must have been using it as a stationary pillbox or something.
Yeah, I love
Here we
taking one big mistake and using it at the start of another big mistake.
You just give it to your friend that you don't like, but you have to be their friend.
Here we are. Tank turret bunkers go nonsensically hard. They are amazing.
Oh yeah,
That's definitely a Cold
especially
War
the
thing.
Ram.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Crusaders were issued with a sunshade as part of a deception operation. As you can see in the photo here, it is just a metal framework with a canvas covering that disguised the tank as a transport truck to track German reconnaissance.
It's an
That is
Iltis.
cool, actually. Yeah, I was just gonna say it's an Iltis.
And when you have infantry on the back, you can keep them extra hot because it's right over the fucking engine deck. Lovely.
And all we have left is, if we go to the next couple slides, you'll see our favorite thing. Dennis?
Models.
Yes, and this is where we lose
Yay,
all
models.
credibility as a podcast.
This is
So,
this is also where we lose our money.
Yes.
yes,
Facts.
give me your
Roll out your wallet, boys.
All right.
Now, John,
Hey, look,
if
they've
you
got the anti-aircraft version.
yeah, John,
dibs
if
on
you
the
if you want to start building models,
Mm-hmm.
we can provide you with some good advice. However, I will tell everyone. You see the Tamiya 35th one?
Careful.
See.
You don't want to buy that. You don't want that one.
Hey.
No, Dennis, listen. You know why?
The Italy.
You see on the right-hand side there, that little brand? Dennis? You see on the side?
We don't talk about the Tamiya Italy collab. We don't acknowledge those.
But
we are.
all of them
That-
are
that
Don't do me
cruise-
like that, Callum. Don't do me like that.
That Crusader is an Italy Reeboks.
But Brett Green on Missing Link said it was great and that there were no cons.
He lied.
Do you dare
No,
question Saint Green?
Hey, fellas, at this point, I might need to say goodbye, but it's been a real blast, and looking forward to doing something with you guys in the future.
Absolutely. I hope you
Okay.
learned something.
Our amazing
You
guest.
you might have learned something. We don't know.
Oh, yeah, I've learned quite a few things.
Well, I hope we can do another collab sometime in the future.
Yeah, once again, a huge thank you to John from the Totally Tanked podcast for joining us to talk about the Crusader. If you want to hear more of the Totally Tanked podcast, they are on all the major streaming platforms. And with that, models.
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 Let's get it. Yes.
Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
So, Dennis. Tamiya Reeboks Italy. Cope and seethe.
Oh no.
Don't do,
Oh,
don't do
no.
that to me. Don't do that to me, man.
Well, you see, I only wanted to point that out after sharing the video of Houdini models talking
He's
about
such a nice
Tamiya.
guy. I was expecting him to be like a monster for hating Tamiya, but he was like the nicest, like Santa Claus looking guy I've ever seen.
Did you
I was
watch
like-
it?
Yeah, and I was like forced to not hate him.
You're going in there just expecting to hate the guy, and he's just the sweetest dude ever.
Now that
Like,
being
good
said,
That's
damn
the
it.
most
models,
Canadian
please face
shit I've
the
ever
wall.
heard.
Okay, so if you are looking to build a Crusader and you're a complete beginner of the hobby, never done a kit before, I recommend you do the Border Model Crusader Mark III.
How
I assure you,
expensive
it
would
has-
that be, though? Like, border models aren't cheap.
I assure you, there are definitely not like 6 part per link tracks. I assure you, and the
Oh.
suspension is definitely not workable.
Oh boy.
Don't worry about it.
And
That's
Maybe
great
just
and all, but
don't-
what kind of dent is it going to make in my wallet?
It's expensive. I'll put it to you this way, guys.
Okay, just don't start with a Crusader.
So
Is
That's
it an
one-
E3 pay grade, or is it like E7 kind of pay grade?
E7.
Okay, never mind.
Oh.
So here's an interesting anecdote about the Border Models Crusader. The track links on that are so complicated and so fiddly that in Border Models' own instructions, they say you can just assemble the lower run of these tracks and leave the top off. They straight up say you can just leave it off.
It's like, yeah, we fucked up by making it too difficult that even we can't build it, so just go ahead and throw this part
In
away.
like broken English, it's like if you want to be a bitch.
It's like, even we want to half-ass this one.
Yeah.
God, it's
But
pretty sad.
if you want a nice easy kit, you should build the Tamiya in quotation
There you go.
marks 1/35th scale Crusader.
Well, you should just straight up do the 1 to 48 because
Yeah, what about the
I
148?
reckon the 48th will be pretty good.
You know what I've noticed working at a hobby
Yeah,
store?
you're right. You're right.
Tamiya has poured their heart and soul in the 48th scale tanks, and no one buys them.
Well, yeah, because like people think of like the Pershing from fucking Atlantis, they're like, huh, they shiver in fear, and
I will
they have
say,
every
though,
right to.
Having taken a
48th
look at
is
the
like the
screws-
perfect size, though. Honestly.
Not too big, not too
Oh,
small.
Yeah,
Oh, so it's average.
No, it's not average.
but nobody wants average.
Exactly,
Well,
we
I
want
have
bigger.
a question but guys, I'm proposing something to you.
I want smaller.
Greg, you want
If
16 scale?
everybody's above average, doesn't that just make
You can
it
fuck
the
right
new
off with
normal?
16 scale.
Oh, I love 16 scale.
And then 16
Oh,
that's
I
why
bet
we're
you
not all
love
fucking-
16 scale.
Yeah, that was the Centurion was 16 scale, wasn't it?
Oh, so I think, Jack, should we talk about our big collab at the Great Hobbies Oshawa today?
Well, I have a slide coming.
Oh
up
yeah,
that
never mind. All right,
talk
we're gonna
about
like
it, so
tease you
we'll
guys
talk about
even
it then.
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is the second time we've teased this so far.
Oh yeah.
See, I reckon the whole problem with Tamiya and their 48th is none of their 48s are exciting.
Really?
I'm coming back around to this, but like there was a lot of people complaining about, they just celebrated their 100th 48 scale release.
I
It was
have
the
that
Nashorn.
magazine. I
And
have
it was
that
the
Mia
Nashorn.
magazine. Yeah.
But it was the Nashorn, and people were like, whoop-de-doo.
I will
People were
Cool
expecting
beans.
citing like something, they were expecting
Like a
something
Type
exciting.
10.
Yeah.
With working air suspension. Yeah.
Yeah, but then it was like,
No
oh,
one
it's the
likes the
Nashorn.
Type
It's
10,
like,
Dennis.
Shut up, Ezra. Boo.
I mean, I don't. Tamiya as a brand is not that exciting.
Jack, you better just bring me back that recast I gave you. Actually, you still owe me for that.
Oh, that's true.
I'm calling in that favor now.
Oh God.
I was going to forget about it until you mentioned that to me. It wasn't exciting.
Well, it's okay. This could be a hill to die.
You know what? I will agree with you guys though, and I will say this: their 48th scale range is actually like way more varied than their 35th scale range, and even that is like pathetic. So
see,
yeah,
I keep coming round to it, Tamiya. Just do safe. They only do safe.
They only
they
do
wear
so-
protection.
with their white backgrounds. Like,
Go to the next slide, Dennis. I think there's even more on there.
Real quick.
Go.
Tamiya should definitely start making like, you know how Mini Art did their diorama scenes.
That'd be cool.
Tamiya should do that because you wouldn't have the flash problem with Mini Art, but it would be detailed enough with the modern Tamiya, and it'd be easier to put together. If you see what I'm saying?
I
I
like.
wonder how much that would cost.
A lot.
Don't worry about that right now.
Yeah.
We'll cross that
We
bridge
don't
when
worry
it
about
comes.
So
Oh God.
I messed up here, guys. There is no such thing as a 1 to 25 scale plastic Crusader.
No shit.
There is, however, a paper Crusader.
What?
Boo.
Okay,
Ow.
you laugh, but I've looked at some of these models. They're actually
Well,
pretty
did you
good.
just call a piece of
Okay.
paper a model?
Obviously
Yes.
it's not as
Do you
detailed
see?
as
Nope.
Do you
No,
see
okay.
what people
Dennis,
do?
guys. I'm not
build it. Dennis, if you swear by it, build it.
Fine, Jack. Why don't you come and help me out with that?
I
Maybe
I
we'll
just might.
Russian chill. Fine.
Russian
we will.
chill? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Get over
Habibi?
here. Yeah. Fine.
Okay.
Hand me the paper.
It,
Big man.
it comes
Alright,
in
let's
the
go.
package. Come on. Just
Yeah.
I wonder how good that Airfix Crusader is.
Probably fucking garbage.
Well, Callum, I will ask you to remember that Airfix Reeboks is old kids. I would also
Ooh.
like you to ask you, like, remember the last time that you saw a 1 to 32 scale armor kit? And that should tell you everything you need to know.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
They do a couple of 1 to 32 scale, and it's like, why? Why?
Because it gotta be weird, man.
Yeah, I've never understood the whole like. It's so close to 1 to 35. It's not like 1 to 35 versus 1 to 48 because there's a difference. But 1 to 35 to 1 to 32, it's like, come on, bro. Like,
There's just enough of a difference where it's annoying.
exactly.
I will say it's interesting to note, like from a historical standpoint, some of the first plastic models were actually Crusaders. Like to me, I got their start obviously with the Panther and all that, but like one of their first non-Panther models was actually the Crusader, and it had a little motor in it.
Oh, it had the motor. Sweet.
So cute.
I have my eye on that. Well, Dennis, have you built anything from IBG?
No, but I saw it
Yes.
at Wheels and Wings. I just saw that they got the Mark III anti-aircraft gun, and
Actually, okay, that's the one I have my eye on. Ezra, have you built anything from that?
Yes.
careful, he's going to
Yes,
get
my-
sponsored by him now.
That's
My-
good. That's a good thing. Let it
My
Because
happen.
then we
TKS,
can get sponsored.
P is
Yeah.
IBG.
Nah, he could just give us money.
Yeah, let's all
How
get
was it?
sponsored by them. I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, God.
He's on
Okay.
an NDA.
Okay, well, next time I take a Wheels and Wings trip, I'll look at it.
I will
No,
say, apparently they're
Jack,
supposed to have
I'll
like
just say
30
this. I've spent 8 months on it, and it's like 4 inches long. So
8 months.
Taking a long time to finish.
Yeah, definitely.
Hey, his barrel's short.
Look, now I assure you, even though I'm a Crusader Mark 1 close support now, I assure you it will be a Crusader Mark 3 anti-aircraft tank with 40mm Bofors gun later.
I get
You just
excited,
have to have
okay?
patience.
No, guys. It has no length, but it has girth.
And it only
Literally,
fires
look up the
smoke.
TKS. Look up the TKS. It's a chunky, thick boy.
Also,
Story of my
guess what?
life.
Yes.
So Dennis,
I would
Dennis, it would just change into the 40mm anti-aircraft, and then all you hear is pom 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 pom.
From the room
Oh, yeah.
beside.
Also, Accurate Armor from Britain, they make a resin set for the little gun tractor, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's neat.
Actually? Oh,
Or as
sweet.
I like to call it, the tofu delivery vehicle.
Dennis, if
Wait,
you
no,
did
wouldn't
that
it-
and put
would it
custom
be the-
decals on it, Bosuzoku?
Yo, with a star-shaped exhaust.
Yeah.
Oh.
Underglow.
But because it's British, it should be the tea delivery vehicle.
The tea delivery vehicle. Yeah, make it like emerald green.
Jack, I've got like broken heart stitches on the side.
Yeah.
Well, we have a segment on this podcast called A Hill to Die On. And this week, guys, I think we're short this week.
Yeah, who's
Oh.
doing a hill to die on?
No, I have an idea. I have an
Was
idea.
it totally
I
tanked?
have an idea.
What? Yeah, wasn't he gonna do
Man,
one? Damn.
He said, "Yeah, fuck this."
They want me to talk about pineapple on pizza? What?
What? Who are these guys?
Okay,
Like-
I have a legitimately good idea for the hill to die on.
Kill him.
I'm scared.
What
Would
is it?
you, because of all the stuff going on in Ukraine, do you still feel okay buying Russian branded kits like Zvezda?
Joke's on you, buddy. I never
Yes.
bought Russian kits to begin with because I can't because we don't carry them.
Oh,
They
well,
don't
problem
support
solved for
the
you.
government, though.
I was about to say, so that's something I've heard people wanted to boycott, like Zvezda, for instance, when the war first broke out, and I was like, bro, why?
Right,
Like all
right,
over
yeah.
Facebook, they were like, boycott Zvezda, like, bro,
But it's
it's
like
a model
Zvezda-
company.
Yeah, but it's like Zvezda also does really good kits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
they do.
Here's the thing, like, did you guys know that? I know I'm I like do aircraft, right? But like, you know the C-130J, which is the Hercules, but it's got the lengthened fuselage.
Yeah, it got stretched.
This is
you did not just say that.
Zvezda makes a brand new, like 2021 Tool C-130J with Japanese Air Self-Defense Force markings in the kit. And it's like $50 for me. And I am fighting all of my willpower to continue fighting the proxy war against Russia by not buying Zvezda kits.
Bro,
Jack,
just buy a
hold me down,
Zvezda
hold me
kit.
down.
It's,
No, yeah, just buy a Zvezda kit. They're pretty good. I mean,
they are good kits.
They got the
Yeah,
They are.
1/100.
that
That's how I
means
made
it
my
already-
KV-222. I bought 3 of them at once.
2 cubed.
Oh,
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
got their
really
1 to 100 scale Stuart tank from the IPMS.
Yay.
Like, it's, even though what Russia's doing is unjustified and like we don't support it, it doesn't mean like the modeling company is based in Russia.
We
Right.
need we need to make like the MMP Special Forces go and seize this Zvezda factory, make it a part of Ukraine, and then they can just like operate normally.
Isn't ICM also Russian?
ICM's Ukrainian.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
there's a lot of
Oh fuck!
Ukrainians.
Off the air.
Yeah.
Oh, it might not be
They're
Ukraine
pretty
for much
prolific with the model
longer.
kits.
Yeah, also Ukraine has a lot of model companies. Like we can't afford to let it
Yeah.
fall.
Yeah,
I agree.
exactly. No, I
Slava
think if-
Ukraine and the hobby.
I'm so
think,
lucky you guys didn't hear what I said.
That's
So you're gonna
Something
mention
curious.
something you didn't say to us, saying that you're grateful we didn't hear it. But now we're gonna be curious, so we're gonna want to hear it. So we're gonna ask, and you're gonna be like, "Oh no,
Oh
no,
no,
I
Greg,
can't tell you."
Greg, you don't need to worry because I can isolate that shit, eh?
Oh.
Don't worry, I can find
I
it.
support Russia or something like that.
Okay, wait. Back to ICM. Aren't they a?
Wait, what?
Aren't ICM like a conglomerate of a bunch of smaller companies that came together?
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised.
because
I
I've got
don't
this
know,
kit.
Jack.
I've got this. Well, okay, I'm just.
Jack's
gonna
out
talk.
here in the business suit. He's
This
like
is-
discussing
I've got the
these things
talking
with business
stick, okay?
leaders.
I've got this kit in front of me from a company called ZV Models, which I learned was then turned into ICM. This is from 2009, I think this kit is, and I'm pretty sure it's Russian.
Maybe it is.
But then I don't know. I looked on ScaleMates. I did my research.
Is it a problem if it's Russian?
Yes.
Well, the thing about that is that well, model companies don't directly fund the government, and if we want to get into it, like most of the soldiers going there didn't even know that that it was going to happen. It was purely like an upper like it
Upper
was
echelon.
wasn't it only like Putin and like a bunch of high-ranking generals really knew what the plan was?
Don't care. Also eat this man pads.
Well,
I mean, even if so, let's say. Okay, so I don't believe it'll happen, but let's say Russia somehow takes over Ukraine, right? As horrible as that is, like all the war crimes they're committing, the unprovoked invasion, all that shit, it shouldn't stop anyone from purchasing or building any Russian models. It'd be like if Japan attacked Pearl Harbor again, no one's gonna boycott Tamiya.
Well, I know which side I'm staying on then, Greg. That's my life for Tamiya.
After our-
Dennis
after
Martin
our
personally leads the
episode-
second attack on Pearl Harbor.
after our episode 11 Hill to Die On, we all know which side we're on, I think.
Yeah. Wait. So, guys, did we just hear Dennis condone a second attack on Pearl Harbor?
Hey, write that down. Write that down.
Write that down.
Cope and Seed F-15s in Mount Fuji colors. Cope and Seed, man.
Laughs and fucking freedom.
Don't take out you might accidentally take out the whole Lions Led by Donkeys podcast as a casualty.
Oh, that is true. Okay,
Oh,
we're gonna have to like
no,
make
yeah.
that. Well, Jack, that's what PGMs are for. So you can like hit the monogram factory and like leave Lions Led by Donkeys alone. I'm just out here
Okay.
gunning for Revell USA. That's it.
Okay, I like where you're going with this.
No, there's nothing wrong with Monogram.
Shut
As
up.
I said, second attack on Pearl Harbor specifically to knock out the monogram factory.
There's
Monogram
nothing wrong with
is
Monogram.
horrible. Go ahead, go to your local Michaels, buy the overpriced $30 piece of shit fucking patent they've got, and
It's
tell me
40
how
for
good
us.
Monogram is. Oh, for
Yeah, it's
fucking
40.
crying out loud.
What? I never
Yeah,
understood
but
that. Like,
but
Michaels,
that's
they say they carry scale models and they carry like one monogram kit and like 3 testers paints.
Yeah,
Bro,
and it
it's so
costs
cringe.
like $1 billion.
Listen. Greg, I could make that patent look good. Give
I
me
can
like
make
a
Oh, we
few
believe
years.
you.
Good. I'll paint it in
We-
German colors.
He's gonna make it that patent that they try to make look like tiger tanks in that movie.
It'll
The
be in
Cartan
Cartan.
Ugh!
Oh yes.
Dunkelgelb.
Kill him. Kill him now.
Uncle Gelvin Cartan.
No, olive drab is the only color they should be painted in.
Olive drab is the only color. You heard it here first.
Hey, where's Callum at? Are you still there, buddy, or are you like still
No,
healing?
no, I'm still here. I'm still
Okay, just making
He's
sure.
just
making
like
sure.
so enthralled by the autism.
Because you fell asleep last time.
here. I actually did, Dennis. Like yesterday during the hangout, like for about half an hour, where I just went dead silent. That's because I was asleep. I was just passed out on my
Makes
chair.
sense listening to us. Like this is probably like considered like sleep, lullabies.
Oh no, it's just this COVID's kicking my ass, and yeah, yesterday was probably the
You
worst
can
day.
hear you guys
I've had,
making
so,
dick
yeah.
jokes in the middle of this fever dream.
I did. I actually did.
By the way, just to advertise yourselves, if you would like to do a hangout with us where we go into a voice chat and a video chat on Discord,
Why
join the
would you
Discord.
want to? But
Yeah.
Yes,
dude,
we are
Discord-
on quite a bit, so
The Discord is completely out of pocket.
you can see us work on our models. We can chat about literally anything. You won't have
Oh,
to pay.
anything.
Yes, anything.
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 Ooh.
God damn it, anything. This is a free fucking podcast, and it's a free internet. So
We fought for this freedom.
Freedom ain't free,
No,
so
no, it's a free podcast until we finally set up our Patreon.
no, it will
it'll
always.
it'll forever be a free
It will- yeah.
podcast.
Oh, just you wait.
The
I mean, we'll have
Discord
a-
will always be free.
Yeah, the Discord will be free. The podcast should be free, but we probably will eventually have a Patreon.
Yeah, you just like get maybe bonus episodes, like custom content from the hosts.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
We do a
If
bonus
you want to see my
episode.
dogs, you want a podcast.
No, we could do a bonus episode every month where we watch a movie and do a full commentary.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That is a good idea.
And then we get flagged
The fuck
because it's
do
like,
that?
wait, no, we wouldn't because it's on Patreon and not on YouTube.
Yeah.
Ah.
A serious inquiry, like when we do our Christmas special, like I know we're gonna do like the Secret Santa stuff. Is that gonna be with the whole podcast, or is that or the whole Discord, or is that gonna be just a podcast, like us guys?
Well, I mean, I'm playing on the
Oh.
podcast. Like, we're all gonna make the same
Yep.
food, yeah, and just start to eat it on camera.
Yeah, on the podcast.
That's a
It'll
good
probably
idea,
just be
yeah.
us because
And
the
we're-
whole
we're all
server's
gonna have
hard to
our cameras
coordinate.
on, right?
I mean,
That's true. Yes, we'll have cameras on.
Everyone
Sweet.
get
Hell
like, I'm set because I've got the Christmas sweater from the Tank Museum. It's got like little M4s stitched onto it. So-
Dude.
Aw, that's
Oh,
so
hey,
cute.
what? Serious inquiry. When do you guys want to do that? Like, what day do you think? Like,
we'll
roughly.
see. I mean, Dennis, do you want to
We're
meet up?
planning like 5
yeah, we were.
months ahead.
Oh, guys, okay.
We could
question.
meet up.
What if we one day somehow met up and recorded a podcast in an M113 command vehicle? Because, hear me out, the M113 command vehicle is tall enough and has enough room in it. You can put a TV in there. We can do the slides. I can have
We've
the
been-
laser pointer out there.
We've been over this. Or
Oh, dude, that's
we've
such a good
thought this all
idea.
through.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. Like, I'm moving in probably October, November,
Mm.
and I'll be out of the Corps beginning of December, so I'll be able to start growing my beard. So, I'll happily fly up there.
Greg's gonna look like a fucking Mujahideen fighter with his beard.
Not any less than the rest of us.
See, my only solace in doing when it's the Christmas one is you lot will be freezing your asses off because it'll be the middle of winter, and I'll be sweating my bollocks off because it'll be the middle of summer.
Get fucked, South Boy.
Oh yeah.
You know, I have Christmas where it's like a barbecue on a beach, not fucking snowing or anything like that.
Yeah, we
I
just
can't
we
wait.
turn our cameras on and Callum's just grilling.
Oh yeah,
It's like, hey, guys!
absolutely.
He's in a Christmas T-shirt, and we're all in Christmas sweaters.
Oh
Like
yeah,
a-
you
like
don't
a-
you don't have a
like
Christmas
a-
sweater in New Zealand. It's too fucking hot.
Rack and I are in like some M4, and it's got the rotary engine, so it's like we're just getting sandblasted with snow and like cold air.
Nobody can hear us. We're just
Yeah. Hello. You're gonna have to turn the gain up on your mics.
Edit
For
this
the Christmas
later.
Special, we have to tell everyone in our Discord server like they can hop on if they want, like whenever
Yes.
it's free.
Oh, and we could do like a big Q&A.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or just it could be just like a recorded hangout.
Oh no, that
With,
Q&A could get it
All of
just
us have our
very quick.
cameras on and then they just hop in.
Yes.
I hate you guys. It hops out.
Your podcast sucks! Bling. Oh, okay.
Word.
Know what your mom said last night?
Oh!
Oh,
Contact Jack.
She was watching the podcast. She was looking at the slides.
She was looking at the slides, all right.
Oh, and she was sliding into my DMs right after.
here we go.
So that's our
again.
hill to die on.
Well, the hell have we been working on this week, guys?
Oh,
You lazy bastards.
I'm
A lot,
first.
actually. Yeah.
Oh,
go
great.
ahead.
Yes.
Greg, you don't
Oh,
need
Greg.
to try and abbreviate now. You're all good.
Fucking tits. Alright, so this is this is part 1 of 3 of my work in progress. This is the Invasion of Sicily diorama that I'm working on. It's basically going to be a T intersection in Gallia, or how the fuck you say that. It's a reconnaissance unit from the 3rd Armored Division setting up to call in naval gunfire. It's going to be two-story houses right there. I'm actually replacing the cork board with a regular XPS foam. So I'm actually doing that right now as we're recording. But basically, the cork house you see there is going to be 2-story full interior, as full as you can get it with that amount of space. The foam house is going to be obviously won't have any interior. There's the stone road or brick road with a little photo etch grout line there. The metal fence, and then it's going to have a small park with a partially dug grave and a tree. Like 9 figures.
You never
Nice.
wanted to think small, were you?
No. I like to overcomplicate things because I just for some reason like self-harm, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Join the hotline, man.
I am the hotline. What are you talking about? But yeah.
So did you end up getting photo etch like fences?
Yes, I did, and thank God I got the 24 centimeter length because they are not 24 centimeters long. They're like
Oh,
16.
You catfished.
I actually was, yes. So
catfish. How much did that cost too?
like $20.
Ugh.
Yeah, I was a little upset when I got it and I measured it out and I'm like, what the fuck?
You made it work though.
They had to
I
cover
did.
that.
Barely. I barely made it work. But it does work, so yeah. But yeah, that's the first part. All right, second part. So
Look at those figures.
oh yeah, lots of figures there. So this morning I got the airbrush out, did the flesh tone with Tamiya flesh coloring with the airbrush. I will never again hand paint flesh tones. That's literally, I almost quit the hobby because of that a while back when I did 19 figures for that .2 Hawk, and I sat for like 4 days just doing flesh. Wanted to fucking shoot myself, but thank God for airbrush because that happened within like 11 to 12 minutes. So got all the flesh tone done. Everything's primed in black, so I'm just going to hand paint the rest.
Hey, Greg, question.
Send it, devil.
Why is that one guy's crotch painted flesh?
Because his hands are super small, and something else is probably small too, so I had to get as much as much flesh tone there, I guess. I don't know.
No.
So we'll just call it overspray.
Oh, it definitely was overspray. Yeah, 100%.
Wow,
Mhm.
Jack, way to demean me over here.
Then the rest of those are the stowage idea I've got set up. I'm gonna have it partially. So I was gonna have it all tied down, but I'm thinking I'm gonna have part of the stowage off of the Greyhound, like they're unloading it. And then on the top right is the roof, and there's a black piece of cardboard that I was going to use for some accenting for the building, but I'm not too sure yet.
Oh, Greg, you're doing that kind of terracotta style, right?
Ezra, thank you. Dennis, what did you say?
You were doing like kind of that terracotta roofing style.
Yeah, the
With, like,
old.
curves.
It's fucking Italian tiles.
Yeah, okay. You know what you can do for those?
What's up?
Take a plastic straw, cut it in half, like down the middle, and then just like cut it, the 2 halves into sections. There you go. Boom. Terracotta.
I will do that on another one because this whole roof, I've had this for like half a year and I need to use it.
There you go.
But yes, I've seen that idea. It's very good. Next slide, please.
Titties.
Oh,
Titties.
All right, my finished
That
model.
looks
This
quite
is the
nice.
1:72 scale Hasegawa Corsair, and this is a forced perspective during the New Georgia campaign of 1943.
Is this a commission?
No, this one's my own.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Go
Yeah.
on, sorry.
Oh, you're good. So this is my first ever official like finished aircraft. I love the Corsair. I like that and the P-51D are like hand in hand my favorite. This kit was a kind of a nightmare. The guy I got it from got it in like the kit came out in '81, and the guy bought it in '86, and it sat in a room, and I swear to God, it sat in a windowsill because the decals were so fucking frail. Or I'm sorry, no, the plastic was frail, and the decals were so stuck to the paper. I had them soaking in scalding hot water for like 7.5 minutes before they started to even think about coming off, and they were. It was horrendous, but made it work, and got a little landing craft. Got the Corsair flying down through the clouds, and yeah,
That looks so good.
thank you. It was fun. It was probably took me like a total of 6 hours.
Really? Whoa.
Yeah, did not take long.
This guy just works fast.
That is
Yeah.
true.
This guy's a hard worker.
You know it, Devil.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
There we
Ugh.
go.
now speaking of fast things, this was probably my fastest model I've ever made. It took 3
Didn't
days.
take long to finish, eh?
No, just 72 hours.
Unlike your Stug.
Which one?
Mm.
Yeah, which one?
The
So I freaking loved this
Which one?
kit. The Oust B. That one I've been working on for a while. But I digress. I love the little base I made for it. And
The little base loves you.
yes, I really hope it does. It's definitely my best little small vignette, diorama, whatever you want to call it. And I really enjoy the subtle weathering. I don't know, I think it just shows the tank off well.
It does,
agree.
especially
Yeah.
for being a tank that never saw combat. Like, obviously, it'd go through like the test run and shit, right? But it's very, very nice. And that little pack you put underneath it, beautiful.
Oh yeah, thank you. There's
Yeah,
a
it looks
closer
amazing.
picture of it, I think, on the next slide. Oh no, this is just a detail shot of how I blended the ground in with the tracks.
Beauty.
That looks really
Yeah,
good.
Mud effects.
How do you seal your pigments, Ezra?
Thank you. I don't.
You don't?
Chad.
I
Bullshit.
just mix them. I mix them with thinner, and that's it.
Okay, so I got enamel thinner from AK that I'm gonna
Mhm.
be. So I saw someone on YouTube put like they'd put their pigments on, then they'd get the enamel thinner with a brush and like dab it on.
Oh yeah, that's what I do.
Okay. Right, never mind.
Yeah, or I mix it with the thinner into like a kind of thick substance, and then I splatter it on. Like you can see on the right corner, how it's splattered on the sheeting.
Right, okay.
Yeah,
Very
That
well.
looks good.
thank you.
Hey, quick question for you, for everyone.
Send it.
Would the Bob sample be better received if you called it an APC instead of a tank? Because you got 6 brain guns there. That's six soldiers that
It's
could be
a
in there.
Bradley.
Yeah, it's
Like,
like
you know,
an early Bradley.
Don't call it a tank, but if it's an APC, because it did have some, like it could withstand some small arms fire. So could you consider it more as an APC as opposed to a tank?
Could they carry
Yes.
people? Like, could they actually carry passengers?
Well, I mean, you got 6 brain gunners there. You might as well just drop them off and then go and get some more.
Didn't it have
It's,
a
not, it's a
mattress?
ferry.
Homie's got a point.
Hell yeah. Do it.
Wasn't there a mattress inside of it?
A
What?
mattress? What?
It's getting hot in here.
Oh
for the-
no!
A mattress for
Just
all
for
the
the
homies.
6 Bren gunners? Is that what?
Well, I mean, come on, it gets
Yeah, next slide,
hot
please.
in there.
Doesn't see a lot of action. They need to see some action themselves.
There we go.
Oh, look at that.
There's a picture of the back, and you can see like the mud effects and the ground.
Are you gonna like submit that to any competition, or are you just gonna leave it?
Of course I am.
He's
Attaboy.
Ezra, of course.
There we
will.
go.
I'm going for best Commonwealth.
You will probably get it. Like no shit, you will probably get it.
Thank you. I'm really hoping I do. And the thing is, though, entering in best Commonwealth, I have to go against dioramas as well. So like,
Ooh.
they're gonna look at my base for it, and then compare it to like dioramas as well. So
Dude, you have a smaller base, so you have less room for error. And the little base you
That's
did
true.
do, it's really good.
that's true. Thank you.
Like
He
the
has a
dirt
point.
blends well with the different size of grass, and you even got like the different types of plants there. Dude, you did good.
And no one will be able to
Thanks.
call those leaves as random splodges of paint instead of leaves.
I don't know. Are there leaves in New Zealand?
No, there are no plants in New Zealand.
No, it's totally barren here. We're totally
Yeah,
not
so-
known for our native fucking flora.
So like Greenland.
Callum's
Yeah.
like, what are plants?
Okay,
Callum has
good.
never
Okay,
eaten
yeah,
a
so New
vegetable in his
Zealand
life.
has no trees. But
What are
yeah, I'm
those?
gonna make an entire photo album comparing this to the actual pictures of the Bob Semple, and
Do it.
I'm going.
Yeah, you
I'm going
should.
all out.
Go for it.
Full on presentation.
Dude, that's actually what some people did at the IPMS I went to. They had like little like booklets of photographs of their work in
brag
progress, and then yes, like yeah, pretty much yeah, like their work in progress, their reference photos, smaller details you really couldn't see. It was really neat.
Yeah, at AMP shows, you get an extra point for including one.
Really?
Ezra, somebody else read the judging material.
So literally, if say you lose 0.5% of a point, you'll get that back if you include a reference pick.
That's really neat.
Yeah.
Of course, it had to be Ezra reading the judging material for amps.
Oh
Harry
yeah.
Potter, of course, sir.
Love
Right,
this thing.
excellent. Oh yes.
Oh, I'm
Ladies and
excited
gentlemen,
to see
we
this.
got him.
Yes, finally, you're finally doing a tiger.
I am doing partial tiger with a mostly scratch built interior. So yeah.
Yeah, you can't get out of
Michael
this. You're an
Whitman's-
official wereaboo.
Yeah.
No.
You saw that?
I
Nope.
You
celebrated
saw that
how
diorama
he
that guy made
died.
of the T-72 turret lying on the ground, and he was like, but what if we made it German?
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, this is like you know the video with Night Shift with his earlier models?
Oh yeah.
The one that almost made me cry? Yeah.
Yeah. So
I will say real quick,
it's,
I love
base is
the
a-
presentation so far.
Thank you. Yeah, I like just the narrow piece of wood
Mhm.
and the ground on top of it.
Sure you do.
I'm trying to get as close to the picture as I can.
The narrow piece of wood.
We'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to painting it.
Oh man, it's looking great so far.
Thank you. On a side note, doing research, I found an article about Michael Whitman on a website, and guess what the website was called?
Michael Vidman.
No, even better.
What?
Never Such Innocence. Michael Whitman.
Oh my god. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, I'll send the link.
No.
Bruh, the dude took out a whole fucking column of armor in like 15 minutes. Now such innocence!
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
Michael Whitman, famous for never doing anything wrong. Famously not a Nazi.
I hope you burn to a crisp.
Hitler literally
Yeah.
went to his fucking wedding.
Yeah, rest in peace. But, I mean, rest in piss.
Rest in piss.
Canadians dancing on his grave right now.
Yes.
Doing a tribal dance.
Don't
He
listen
got
to the
wrecked.
British propaganda. It was a Canadian Firefly that did him in.
Canadians really seem to take out every important German.
Important German.
Yeah, because someone has to do it, right?
Yeah. Like we cleaned up the Red Baron as well.
Oh, we murked them.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't know that?
I did not.
Haven't you
Roy
heard of
Brown.
Watme and Roy Brown?
No, I haven't.
And Billy Bishop.
Yeah, Billy Bishop.
Some of the
I
best flying aces of the First World War were all Canadian.
Leroy Jenkins.
But yeah, actually, did you guys know that apparently they killed him so well that no one found his remains until 1986 or something?
That's what 17.
The Red
Powder just
Baron?
killed
No. No, I thought there were.
Michael Whitman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jack. Jesus.
I thought we were past Michael Whitman. Who let this
I thought we
wereaboo
could
in here?
stop talking about the wereaboo shit.
He's let the wereaboo in.
Oh God, guys, you have to read the last paragraph in the Never Such Innocence.
Nah,
article.
man, I ain't going to. I'm
I'm
gonna
not
expose
clicking that
myself to
till later.
Nah.
That's some after hours shit. Okay. Nice.
I dig the unibrow, by the way. That goes hard.
Yeah. Man's got style.
Drip.
Drip.
I'm sure his wife
Yeah,
really loved that.
Imagine getting killed by someone with a unibrow.
Dude, this guy gets all the bitches. Let's be honest with ourselves. We're just jealous.
He's like, yeah, I blew Michael Whitman's top off.
Oh, I'm sure.
Did you blow Michael Whitman's top off, or did you blow Michael Whitman's top?
Both.
Probably both.
Yeah, it's kind of gay. You know what's not gay? Fucking Herman the German. Let's hear it, Callum.
No,
I
because Herman
got,
the German was busy
my
killing all the
German
gays.
16th figure finished.
Oh.
Oh, no! Oh, God!
Oh, no, I'm
We're
crying.
definitely getting canceled now. Holy shit.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I just want to say, unlike these knuckleheads, I'm a friend of the LGBTQ audience.
Aren't we all, though?
All of a sudden, we change our MMP logo to the pride flag.
I'm gonna
We're
have
not
to
like
after these
corporate
content
America.
comments.
No,
Yeah.
no, we're not corporate America. We're not going to do that.
Well, Cope and Seath, Greg,
Guys,
guess
I'm
what
gonna make
doing?
an edit of instead of the white background, it's just gonna be the pride flag.
Oh, God.
Oh, corporate America.
Corporate
you'll
America is cancer.
Yes.
Anyways, Callum, please.
Anyway,
continue.
so
Yeah.
so this is my German machine gunner figure. So I actually got the base done in a day.
Base.
That looks really good.
Good job,
About
man.
three days ago. Yeah, I got literally from a piece of this weird cardboard packing stuff into that in just a day. So used a whole bunch of like AK slush and micro balloons for the snow and a lot of oil paints for the
Is that-
roads.
Is that seafoam?
No, it's a type of lichen that grows on New Zealand trees.
Impossible.
Sweet.
There are no trees in New Zealand.
Yeah, we already went over this.
But yeah, so that's this kind of lichen stuff that look, makes pretty good for 16th and 35th scale bushes. So that's where I got it from.
That looks sweet.
Scratch built the cross myself using balsa wood and unraveled string. So the road, the way I got it to blend in with the snow was using oil paint. So using a dark black brown and just dabbing it round. And then as I got closer to the snow, just adding a bit more thinner into it until eventually it just sort of naturally blended in. So, yeah.
Very
That's amazing,
nice.
dude.
Yeah, you
That
did
is
really
very
good on
nice.
that.
Yeah,
if you go
it's
to the-
gorgeous.
If you go to the next slide, it shows the cross and stuff a bit better.
I really love how you did the whitewash on that helmet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably the highlight for me.
Yeah, so that was just doing acrylic base color, then covering it with a white enamel, and then using terps to just break it apart and dab it and thin it out in random areas, just try and make it as random as possible.
You did really good.
Beautiful, man.
So
Beautiful.
this is like definitely like probably the best I've made so far.
It's amazing.
It's gorgeous.
So then once I finished that, if you go to the next slide,
Aww.
I made the natter.
It's so cute.
So this is the, I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it like
Natter.
if it's
Nader.
a German name? It's like Buckham, Bachem. So it's like it's the
The
Buckham BA349A natter. So
That there's a nader.
So, for all those that don't know what this thing is, it's basically a man-guided anti-aircraft missile.
A CF-104.
So, what it did was so you've got a pilot strapped in, and it fires vertically off a sort of vertical ramp, or
Sounds
basically a
sounds
vertical
German
launch.
already.
Yep. So it launched vertically using the 4 boosters on the outside of it. And basically, it was on auto. It had an autopilot guiding it towards the bomber formation. And then when the boosters ran out of fuel, Then the internal rocket kicked in, and for about 10 seconds, the pilot had 10 seconds to aim at the bottom of formation, and then it fired off 24 anti-aircraft rockets out of the nose as a
Jesus
shotgun.
Christ.
Fucking A, dude.
Yep.
This is some steampunk shit.
Yeah, so basically
yeah.
try to take out as many as they can in one pass, and then to land, what this thing did was it broke in half, just behind the behind the pilot. So this
Yep, that's a German jet.
this air quotes aircraft split in two, and when it did that, the pilot seat was connected to the rear half, and so when it broke apart, the pilot was literally flung out the aircraft, and all three of them parachuted down.
Like a
That was-
fortune cookie.
Guys,
Basically,
need to go real quick.
it
I need to
split
take a
apart. The pilot got flung out, and then
I need to go take a fantastical dump. I'll be right back.
Make sure you give us a full report.
I shall give you a full report of my fantastic.
Bro, literally, I literally.
We're
I'll
also
be right
losing
back, dude.
Greg.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
no.
sorry. I'll be right back.
I'll be right
Too
back.
much coffee.
Guys, take your cameras with you. Let's see it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's see.
we'll just pause recording for a while.
No, we won't. No, we won't. We're gonna let these guys take a huge dump. All right, Callum, who made this kit?
So this is Brain Gun.
Bren Gun, they're a Czech company, I want to say, right?
Yeah, check.
Yeah.
So I'd call this kit average.
What's it resin?
Like there's quite a bit of flash to remove. So I'm doing this one as a YouTube video as well, and I borrowed my dad's digital microscope so I could do the photo etch seatbelts and stuff. And with my camera, with my laptop, the digital microscope could actually like film video. So I managed to film.
That's cool.
So I managed to film installing the seatbelts using the digital microscope because the seatbelts are that small.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quite literally, you're going all out in the PE.
Yeah, there's only like 4 PE things: the seatbelts and the aiming sight.
Now, are you thinking of like making this into a diorama where it's like on the launch rails or something like that, or are you just gonna have it kind of like as a standalone?
Not sure yet. It might be a diorama where it's just like low sitting on the crate as it is.
That'd be cool.
Brain Gun do make a launcher for it, but I can't find it in New Zealand.
It would look awesome just even on a crate, you know?
Yeah, because it's on a, like a little, like you can see the little thing it's sitting on that comes with it. So that's like a cradle that it sits in when it's not been launched. And that's
So
a wooden.
is this 1/100 scale?
No, this is 72nd.
Is it? Oh,
Yep.
okay. So you could easily find some like additives to put with it.
Yeah,
Some like
yeah,
aircraft like maintenance crew or whatever.
yeah. So I could turn this one into a small diorama. Yeah, but I mainly bought it just because it's the subject. You know me.
That's cool.
I like a variety of subjects, and the natter is a pretty interesting thing, in my opinion.
It is. It's I hadn't heard of it until now.
Oh yeah, man. Well, Jack, is this the point where we talk about the Great Adventure?
Well, Greg and Ezra are currently having a poop race, so
All right, you know what? Screw it. I'm pausing the recording.
whoa, that
I've
was so
shot my
fast.
shit. I've shot
How
all
was,
my
all right,
shit.
Ezra, come on. How was it?
Oh, it was definitely good.
A little acidic, a little burn,
Definitely acidic.
a few tears were had.
Yes. Had to force it out.
Shed a tear of delight.
A tear of
God.
happiness.
Oh, I beat Greg.
I feel like I might just like edit that bit out.
No.
Is this? We're not recording right now.
We
are
are recording right now.
Oh fuck! Okay. Oh, Greg is back.
All right, Greg, how was it?
Okay, he's not back.
No, never mind.
Ah.
He pulled the phone out. It might take a while.
Welcome to the Micro Machines podcast, where we record the length of our dumps and then have philosophical conversations about how they were.
You know, I'm kind of disappointed. The whole fiber thing. Like, remember I did 600% of my daily allocation for fiber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it never really resulted in much. It was kind of anticlimactic. Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's good.
Yeah. I guess.
I mean, what would you rather shit out liquid?
Yeah, I'd rather be this natter. Like Callum Belt.
That's what laxatives are for.
Oh god. Oh, speaking of the natter, we have to do an episode on the comet. You know, it
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
melts
cool.
its pilots.
We
Do
need
it
to
after I
branch out.
build mine. Yeah, do it after I build mine, because, well, I have that, remember, Dennis, I told you about the setup?
I'm back.
The 100 scale one?
Oh,
He's
there he
returned.
is.
How was it? How was it, Greg?
How was it?
Hey!
That was
was
stressful,
it?
god damn it.
Sweat dripping down his forehead right now.
Woo! God damn!
Call me better than that.
You feel a few pounds lighter, eh?
Where's my goddamn water at the end of this race? Fuck!
He just starts floating off of his seat. Okay. Go for it, Jack.
Okay, so we're rolling. Yeah, we're all
We
good.
were rolling the whole time.
Oh shit. Okay.
Literally.
Let's not talk about our our gathering yet. I've got 4 slides, so
Dude, you're blue balling me here, man.
I know I am. This is my husband. It's
First of all,
you just reading that.
I don't look at the Discord.
Fucking youth, man, I'm telling you. I'm an old man in this race.
Sorry, Jack, continue, please.
Okay.
See,
This is
I take no nonsense shits.
Yeah, man's passionate about it.
Yeah, I'm going in there for one reason and one reason only.
Hey, same here. I'm sorry I'm older than you. Meanie.
Alright.
Sorry, Jack.
So this is my husband.
Well,
It's
and what a beautiful Oswald it is.
Das
Well,
ist very gut.
wait till you hear it.
Oh god.
It's a Ravel kit.
Oh, shut up.
Wow, yes!
No. This time, hey, Ezra, shut up. Only I can say this. It was good.
Yeah, Dennis has seen it. It's in a display case right now where
I
it
saw
should
it.
be. Yeah, he saw it. He inspected it.
I
Oh,
felt
no.
I took it apart.
Yeah,
Give it the sniff test, the taste
it was
test,
a
all
sniff
that.
test. Had to
Hey, yo.
inhale that not quite dry enamel.
How did you... Yeah.
Don't ask questions, just nod and wave.
Go ahead, Ezra.
Yeah, that looks so good. Literally, I don't think there's anything you can do to improve it.
Really?
Yeah.
As he's
Is
holding
it-
back tears.
Is it just me, or does
Actually, no. There's one thing you could do.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Wereboo over here has got some advice.
That is, go get a white watercolor
is it just
pencil.
me, or
And
Do not tell him to use AK pencils. I swear to God, if you tell him to use
just
AK
get a
pencils.
white watercolor pencil and write some factory numbers on the side. Like
Okay,
Dennis,
that could be
Dennis,
pretty
what's wrong
nice.
with the AK?
oh, don't make him start.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I
I've seen it.
just ordered some. What's so wrong with them?
Oh,
I've
no.
seen it in person. Don't you dare.
Oh,
Oh no!
oh, great.
Oh,
Wasting your money,
How
boy.
How much did you spend?
You're
Don't-
just burning them dollar bills.
I
Don't say
I
you
didn't
bought the
or-
$78 pack.
I didn't actually order any. I just wanted to get Dennis's reaction
Thank God.
because I'm not that stupid. I may be stupid, goddammit, but fuck, I'm not that stupid.
I've seen it in person. It's not pretty.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
is it,
I mean,
is it just me, or that the photo bottom right? Does it look like the barrel's bent?
Yeah,
Hey, there's nothing wrong with
It's
the
sad.
curve.
Carol.
adds for an extra
Blue
feeling.
pill.
It's a bit
straighten
cold.
it out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
Ezra, what do you know about the blue pill?
Mm.
Yeah.
Blue
I just know
pills.
because my constant jokes. Don't worry about it.
Is that the only reason? Do we need to have a
Yes.
conversation?
Don't make me whip out and show you my.
Hey, get his folks on the line.
Ezra's ripping it. He's whipping it out on the podcast.
Mr. and Mrs. Wereaboo. Ezra, your son's
Let
whipping
me
it.
finish.
Mr. Weird.
No. You lovely. No, you have to see the picture of the book that they gave us.
Ooh.
No.
You and all
scared me,
of the
boy.
deranged scribbling that we put on it.
You
Don't
scared
worry.
me when you said I had to look at the picture.
No, it's deranged scribbling about things like blue pills, floppy bananas.
Hey, nothing wrong with a floppy banana, okay?
We wrote an entirely new Psalm 69. It was amazing.
What are you on about?
Yeah, what are you on about?
Look, I think
We're questioning it.
guys, I think all like the thinner he's been sniffing this whole time is getting to his brain. He's starting to make no sense.
No, I can hear that happening.
The closet literally smells of Mr. Color Leveling Thinner.
We need to have
when
an
you
episode
were
on safety here because you are giving a horrible example right now, bud.
yeah, Ezra, you were a little bit slow presenting your slides there.
Oh no.
Yeah, did you guys notice like he just would pause? Take a big...
I thought that was my internet, but
No, he's just like taking time.
I didn't
to,
say anything,
upload
but
that
I was
sugar.
like,
It's my internet. It's my internet.
yeah, no,
It's my internet.
it took a minute, and I was like,
See,
oh wait, he's high.
oh, guys, what if we put an
Is that
anti-aircraft gun on the Crusader, man? Like, just hear me out, man.
It's not how are you, officer. It's how are you.
In classic New Mexico fashion.
Man,
Yes.
you gotta chill out, you know?
Hey,
You sound
brother,
like
it's not that
I need to finish
serious.
drinking my caramel tea.
I was just like taking a swig of it.
Wait, Ezra, genuine question.
Yes. Yeah.
Would you say this is show worthy?
Oh yeah, for sure. You just need to get that white color, white pencil, and add a few factory marks.
Yeah, it's lacking insignia.
Just write 69 on each side of the turret. in my opinion.
69.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of
Okay,
here.
he's high. Okay.
It's a legitimate thing. Look up
All right.
69.
Next
German
slide, I guess.
tanks.
Hey!
Okay, so this is
Great.
this is where
Oh,
Wait,
the
I
sewer.
will. I'll release Dennis when we. Well, okay, no, I'm gonna blue ball you a little bit more. That's my Stewart. It's got a wagon wheel on the
It
side.
hurts, Jack.
I like that wagon wheel.
Yeah, where'd you
That's
get that from?
Yeah, it's tits.
I got it from when I was first getting into hobby. There was a model show near me in Peterborough, and I got it like for like $6 in an old Tamiya like add-on set.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, and then we got sandbags, all sorts of little like bed rolls and all that type of stuff. Got an ammo
That's
crate
very
on the
nice.
left fender. We're gonna cover it in foliage. Jerry cans on the back. Ready to go.
goddamn Jerry's.
Goddamn Jerry's. So, Dennis.
Jack, your machine gun barrels, you're gonna drill them out, right?
I will drill them out.
You
The
better
new
drill
machine
the
gun barrels
out.
from Ezra. Those are some
Hey.
those barrels have been to Canada and back.
Wait, are they drilled out? I forget. It's been so
They're not
long.
drilled out. They are not
Oh,
drilled out, no.
boo.
But I'll drill them out because I got a pin vise now,
Yay.
courtesy
Need to
of
drill 'em
Yeah,
D-Man.
I'm just
I
out
need
here
to get a pin
unloading
vise.
my equipment on this guy. I'm like the
Yeah.
United States and the Mujahideen.
Famously,
Yeah.
nothing bad ever came
Nothing
out
bad
of that.
ever happened from me giving Jack my pin vise. It totally didn't turn him into like a world class modeler who won every single contest.
I'm
Fucking do
excited
it.
for the days. It's just me against Ezra.
Some like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure type plot.
So this originally started from me reaching out to Dennis, asking for some decals, and we made a little
I'm like,
bilateral
hey, do you want this
trade.
other random crap I've got lying around?
Yeah, we made a bit of a bilateral trade. We settled on some 4th Armor Division decals for a double. So
And some of Justin Bieber's balls.
yeah, and some Bieber balls, which
Yeah.
are that's pretty Canadian. You
I
can,
didn't know that Bieber had like 10 balls. That was pretty cool. They even put him in
yeah,
the
it was a
box for me.
10-pack.
Yeah,
Mm,
poor guy.
Well, that beaver's packing.
Bieber is packing, absolutely.
Bieber's sauce tastes good, I will say.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, Dennis likes the taste of beaver sauce. You heard it here, folks.
And again, he cuts out because he's so high off the fumes.
Don't worry about it.
Is it just me or is the podcast slowing down?
Why is he talking about Justin Bieber's balls, man?
Okay, I looked up German Tank 69 and I can't find any.
He's actually high. I can hear his voice slowing
Yeah, he's slurring his words. We got a beauty of a figure too, and today, I did something. I spent $50 in paint.
On paint, yeah. Which is
yeah. It's yeah.
I can't say
God
anything
damn.
because this guy's out here keeping me in employment. But yeah,
Yeah. And I was in there for like what, 2 hours?
yeah. I kept. So first of all, shout out to Grey Hobbies Oshawa for being the place for armor modelers. If you're in Ontario, screw Wheels and Wings. Screw everyone else. Just
Don't
come
screw
to Grey
Wheels and
Hobbies Oshawa.
Wings.
Yeah. No, literally, like go up there and start like pounding the door. You know.
No.
Yeah. No, I'm
No.
saying like you get all hot and bothered with Wheels and Wings.
What kind of pounding? You need to clarify.
Do you need to ask?
Maybe for a free
Achievement
kit.
unlocked.
I'll go and I'll get a plane ticket right now.
Ezra, man.
Man, he's down horrendous.
Down bad right now, bro.
Did you just take a whiff? Ezra.
My man is actually going to die.
I'm gonna
give this man a respirator.
I'll be able to talk right again.
No, that's not how it works. This is a bad path you're going down.
Greg, this is how we get safety briefings.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because we take like a casualty on the podcast.
The youngest guy fucks it up.
I can taste colors, guys.
I can taste Mr. Hobby himself.
Oh God, no!
Oh yeah, that's our
Oh,
business
yeah.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah, got the femboy tank.
Word.
How do I get my hands on those?
You don't. You can't because you can't move your hands. You're paralyzed.
I can't leave the closet.
Hey, that's gay.
You heard it here, folks.
Slurring.
Ezra, what the fuck? Made some
You
extra
just hear in the
pass out.
background. Go, 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 go.
Are we gonna have an overdose on the pod?
I have to like bring out the Naxal.
Okay, next
I
slide.
wonder how much drinking this I wonder how much drinking this bottle leveling.
No.
Oh,
Ezra, are you
sorry.
going something right now? It's
Ezra, I don't know.
Do you need to
Seriously,
talk?
but you're going to be a casualty, man.
yeah.
That's not meant for human consumption, let alone human exposure.
I'm sipping Mr. Hobby sauce and it tastes good.
Oh,
Hey, yo, that's kind of sus.
Well, I am in the closet.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god.
There
What
is-
have we done?
There's nothing Ezra's doing right now that isn't sus.
Oh god, I'm so scared.
Anyways, I got a ship update. I painted the deck.
I can't see straight, guys. I see
Got
see two
some-
Bismarcks in front of me.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, that's the Yamato. My bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's definitely high.
Oh yeah.
Now that's the USS Arizona.
Oh, I thought that was at the bottom of Lake Ontario.
Oh! Hey, yo, someone can get there, man.
Ezra went to the bar and he's had a little too much. He keeps humping Greg's leg.
I would beat his ass. Oh my god.
I'd be honored.
Just a few more sips and I'll be fine, guys. Don't worry. Okay, Jack, continue.
I was just stopping for a sec to see if I could hear you take a gulp. Okay, just photo etch on the left, base coat,
Damn, the
F10 on
bottom
the right.
open. No.
Okay.
Oh, there
Um,
we go. There we go. There we go.
Oh god.
Cal, you're going to need to boost the audio on this. I want people to know just how stupid this guy's being.
Wait, I'm missing my mouth. I can't get in my mouth. It's all over me now.
Should I actually call the Truth and Consequences 911 department before this guy actually
Call
overdoses?
poison control right
I might
now.
actually call a 911 at Truth and
I'll be
Consequences and be like,
fine.
hey, I'm not swatting him, but homeboy is about to die.
Ezra, are we gonna have to cut it short? This is
If you hear a thud, just continue the podcast without me. It'll be fine.
how did this go to having a guest to Ezra killing himself?
Oh god. Took a nasty turn.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Oh god, here they come.
Oh,
And you said this was our Davis episode.
Okay, so Jack,
how long
well,
have we been going?
we are like
We've been
1
going for
hour,
a
58
long
minutes,
time.
and 40 seconds. We're hitting that
Okay.
2 hour mark today, boys, because we're not even halfway done.
Well,
Oh,
we
great
said we'd
God.
take like 30 seconds on each slide, and we're going.
Well, that was with fucking homeboy here. Now
That
it's
was
not.
before Ezra decided to sip on the scissor.
It
That's
tastes so
Snickers
good,
concerning
though.
me.
Forbidden, Mr. Hobby Juice.
Crackhead over here.
Jack, say something about the ship before this guy ends up sipping the whole thing.
Oh, fuck. So, I'm gonna put another layer of paint over, probably desert yellow and some shade of red. Was it Russian?
Russian 6 KO.
Yeah, from the other MMP. It'll probably go on the deck of the ship, make it a little orangier, less dull, sun bleached.
I will
and
say,
on the
I'm
left,
glad you're not using flesh. I'm glad you're not using flesh tone.
yeah, I was gonna use flesh. On the left, we've got some built-up photo etch parts. It's coming along. It's you can see I've got all sorts of pieces here. Who's ventilating?
That's great.
Who's what?
What?
Ventilating.
So I'm in the fan. I'm sorry.
No.
Ah,
Greg is following
I'll get it.
proper safety procedure. He's replacing
Unlike
the filthy
Ezra,
air
who's
with the proper
Gulping
clean
down
air.
Mr. Hobby Juice.
I would much rather Greg have a fan sound than be killing himself.
Yo.
It's coming out of my nose.
He's taking deeper breaths because his lungs are being like shredded, so he needs to breathe deep in order to get the same amount of
Yo,
oxygen.
Ezra, are you actually drinking it?
No, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter. Dude, it doesn't matter if he's drinking it or not. Like if he's
Oh.
inhaling it, it's the same deal.
Okay. Call poison control.
I might. Oh, hold on. What is the? Greg, can you do it for me? I don't think they'll let a Canadian number call. Truth
Let's see.
or consequences. Poison control.
Oh, yeah.
You might have to airlift them to
Let me know. What's the number?
get help online. Who was
What's the number?
exposed? Someone else. What was the person's age?
Oh, yeah.
Ezra, you're 17, right?
Huh?
I'm gonna put him down as 17.
Yep.
Male. Actually, no, female. Was this self-harm? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Don't worry about it.
No, we're worrying.
Look, Mr. Hobby Thinner. What? Hobby. Hello, Hobby. They straight up don't have Mr. Hobby Thinner. I need Mr. Hobby Leveling Thinner. Okay,
You just made me spit it all out of my mouth.
Why are you drinking it?
My walls are soaking wet.
Inhalation, mouth, skin, eye.
Because it
utterance,
tastes
and
good.
Ezra, stop drinking it.
Why?
America.
You're fucked up right now. That's why.
He's in Arizona for real.
Yeah, I'm in Arizona.
Send it to the wrong address.
They
do a
put
little
out
bullet.
goddamn meth, so I gotta take me some of this here thinner.
How long
My
ago was the
walls are
exposure?
dripping now.
1 minute ago. Having symptoms.
Jesus Christ, Ezra.
Based on the information you provide, there's a possibility of toxicity. Serious effects may develop. Yeah, no shit. Alright, I want everyone who's calling to listen to the podcast. Call 1-800-222-1222 and report this guy's ass to poison control.
But I'm okay.
Man's just ingesting pure carcinogen. What do you mean?
Like, he's ingesting, like, Chernobyl levels of cancer right now.
Don't worry, it's only isopropyl alcohol for Bell
Mr.
and,
Hobby Thinner ain't
and
isopropyl
Nicole.
alcohol, homeboy.
This is something else.
Okay, well, you're drinking like 99% alcohol?
No, it's not. It's not even
Don't
alcohol.
make
It's
me drink
lacquer
even
thinner.
more of it.
Dude, it's straight up lacquer thinner, dude.
Oh yeah, this
Oh,
stuff
he's
takes
drinking
the banging
lager.
off of anything.
Oh, I thought he just said isopropyl alcohol.
Oh
Dude,
no. That's
Oh.
just one. That's one of the ingredients. Like this stuff will strip your lacquers off of plastic.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Greg, what's the procedure in the Marines if someone does something like this?
Dude, I was just a grunt. We don't know.
Wait, I'm driving trail somewhere, idiot.
Just stand away from them so you don't get
Okay.
contaminated.
point the 240 at him.
Stay back! Stay back, I say!
Okay, I think after this incident, we might need to have a health and safety
Dude,
segment.
this health and safety episode is a long time coming.
Yeah, no, we had an incident, and now we're
We need to have like an OSHA report.
yeah.
Guys,
Look at
my
Ken
throat
to do it.
feels scratchy.
Jack,
Kill
let's go, the flipping boat.
I already
Listen to
did.
this
Next
guy.
slide.
Oh, yeah.
Next slide.
I'm tired of listening to this guy die. He could die on his own.
I took some paint off some Hot Wheels.
Oh,
Tell me you didn't
It's
handle
a
the paint
bus.
stripper with your bare hands.
I had
OSHA
one
report.
glove on.
We will get Canada.
I had one rubber glove on. We're good. Yeah, that's all. Hot Wheels cars. I'm gonna paint them up. I don't know what to say. I'm concerned about Ezra.
they're gonna look tits.
All right. Well,
A challenger.
kill you. Oh, I was about to say sorry. I did not mean that. I'm sorry. I figured since you already were doing it, like I could tell you to. I love you, Ezra. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Happy Father's Day / birthday to my dad. Yeah.
Happy Father's Day, Mr. D-Man.
Thank you.
Yes, happy Father's
2 and
Day.
1.
Steak and titties.
Dennis, when are you gonna be a dad?
You'd like that, wouldn't you? You'd really like that.
We can call you Daddy D.
Oh, you already can. Don't worry about that.
You're
Jack
right.
does every day. Every day.
Next time I show up at the store, I'm just gonna,
Yeah.
nickname.
Hey, yo, Daddy D.
But yeah, this leads me a 1 to 24 scale Mustang GT4. I built it in less than 24 hours. Actually, most of it was built in the time it took for me to watch Moneyball. So,
Sweet.
you do the math. But yeah, pretty cool.
Nice. Very,
Custom.
very nice.
Yeah, I'm getting a Type 87. More importantly,
It's so cute.
It's got air
It's
suspension.
like a Geopard, but better.
You're a Geopard.
honestly,
better.
yeah.
Dennis, I just want to say I'm really proud at your ability to make it flow after what is happening with Ezra right now.
Yeah, we're just gonna move straight along. So,
Yeah, okay.
y'all ever?
I saw this one in person.
Yes, y'all ever?
Look at that
Don't worry about the
drippy
tank. The tank's just like a work, like a test bed. So don't worry about that. I'm showing off these little gold things, like the shells. So y'all ever want to make a diorama where you've got machine gun firing and it's ejecting, shell casings?
Yeah,
But-
eject.
Can I kick him off the podcast? Well, it needs to eject shell casings, and it's like, well, do I make it by cutting metal, which will dull my my clippers, or what do I do here, right? So I've 3D printed these 50 BMG spent shell casings. I also do 7.62, 5.56, and 2.5. And yeah, I'm just trying it out right now, and I'm actually pretty happy with it.
Good shit, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty
that looks
shit.
awesome.
Not only do the shell casings look really good, that your quote test bed tank that you're gonna finish later looks really cool too.
Aw, thank you. Yeah, it's a work in progress. And yeah.
Anime girl.
So guess what?
Oh, that's what revives his ass.
I brought him back to life.
Anime girl.
Oh my
Fucking
god,
weirdo.
anime girl. Yeah. So
I will drink an entire body of Left-Wing Theater for you.
so while we were getting the podcast ready tonight, I was looking up just random stuff, as one does, random Japanese air self-defense force stuff. And it turns out someone at Hasegawa was, drinking enough leveling thinner like Ezra is now to imagine, hey, what if we took their F-16 but put conformal fuel tanks on it? Which is like the
I
single
love those fuel
sexiest
tanks
thing
so
ever.
much.
And MBK has it for $77. I do not care. I am copying. We are making it happen. Yeah.
We need to have not only a safety brief but a financial.
Dennis, you
Black
have
as
a
well.
problem.
I want Japanese aircraft, Jack.
Didn't you say you had? How many kids did you say you had earlier?
Japanese.
Kids?
Yeah. 12.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had you were saying you had 12 kits.
It matters not.
I
love
thought
your
that maybe you would have a moment of realization when I was there that you need to stop, but turns out
It's
some
only
things
the
never
beginning.
change. Yeah.
Those fuel tanks on the side are the hottest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, for fuck's
Stand
sake!
back, everyone. Ezra's gonna have relations with the F2.
Oh god!
Yeah.
And then the anime girl after.
It's the F-16.
Yeah, most
hotter
important.
sister.
First things first. Do the plane first.
Her brother. At this point, I don't care.
Yes.
Oh god! Hey! Put that in the fucking out of context quotes.
He's in the closet. Oh, here's the real question though. Is the anime girl the pilot?
I'm gonna be real with you,
At this
Chief.
point,
I don't
I'm
care
just
who
looking
the
at the
pilot is.
aircraft.
I'm chasing them. Like as soon as I get out of that thing, I'm hauling ass after them. Get over here, boy.
Just like poison control coming for Ezra.
Ezra coming for the
I'm
plane.
gonna be right up that jet steel pipe.
Oh, he's gonna come for it, all right.
Oh, he will. But yeah, this is the single coolest thing that has ever existed. Screw the Avro Arrow. Screw the F-104. This is literally the coolest.
Screw the Avro Arrow.
Dude. Honestly,
What have I just heard?
okay, Jack. You want to
Even
hear
in
something?
my
Man?
even in
We
my
were gonna buy the
hallucinating
F2.
state, I know that's wrong.
Were we really?
the RCAF was in talks. No, not even the RCAF. The RCN was in talks to buy the F2.
Oh,
The Canadian Navy would have had fighter jets for the first time since like the Bonaventure.
okay, that's pretty sick.
Dude, can you imagine?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. But because we can't have nice things here, all I can listen to is flipping Jack in his walls and Ezra killing himself. So yeah, no F2. That's it. That's the podcast.
Is that
How
the
long was
podcast?
that?
Holy God.
2
That was-
hours, 11 minutes, and 23 seconds.
Callum, are you still alive?
He's probably asleep.
Callum?
No,
The
I'm
cows.
here. It's just after the first bit, my voice just went downhill, and
Oh,
now
fair
I'm like
enough.
struggling.
Okay. That was kind of shit.
Yeah, it kind of was. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that. It's okay. We can have a not as great of an episode as always because
We're not. Oh well, we're not doing the Totally Tank podcast justice.
Yeah.
Damn it, Ezra. What? Do we need to have a talk after this?
Yeah, that's a solid
He's not
yes.
gonna understand you.
Dennis, end it.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much.
Take
for
a
watching
guess,
the Mike
Ezra.
Machines podcast.
Take a-
You've been listening to the
Our
Mike
next
Machines podcast.
episode is of the Tacoma and Harris Bridge
Shut up.
disaster.
Shut up, Ezra. All right, thank you all so much. You have an amazing night. Call
Love you
Boys
guys.
Patrol. Love you.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.